think I might.
Because I don't think I own the upgraded version of
Pull up the stream so I can hear if we're playing. We can never hear everybody. Okay, I can hear you guys through it. Yay! Turning that off so I don't have to listen to myself on like a 6-second delay. Nobody cares, but we're gonna play some D&D 5e. This is homebrew. We have some special inspiration rules, and we don't care about weight, and whatever else is homebrew you can figure out. We're playing the spirit of the game, not the law of the game. I have some lovely players here.
That's a mighty fine assumption.
See how long that applies.
Go ahead and introduce your characters, and then we'll do a recap of everything that's happened so far, and we'll go from there.
Oh, I should probably get into the session instead of fiddling with this map.
that would help.
Already.
Are you sure? Are you sure that being present is conducive?
Legal requirement?
Well, it's conducive.
Not a legal requirement yet, but you know.
It's like, oh, well, Michael's not here at the session. Time to call SWAT.
I mean, I've almost done that.
Time to delete whatever he's watching off of Hulu.
Alrighty. Oh yes, there's my 3 characters.
Alright, yep. We started out with multiple characters, have been slowly whittling down the cast. This is a campaign based off of the Trials book series. It's one of my favorites. And it gave me a lot of inspiration for this. It's branched off a little bit. And you guys introduce yourselves and take turns and whatnot.
So, I am Mikemia. I am the owner of the characters, Snogo. I'm the player for the characters Snogo, Red, and Calypso. Formerly owned 2 other characters, which is Zarid and Royax, but they both died in the same session.
Because of one killing the other and then swiftly being killed by another party member.
Yep. Do not underestimate bears at level 3. Nevertheless, I'll start off with, I guess, the most infamous out of the 3 living characters of mine. Calypso. Calypso, is a... how old? Again. Yes, she's 4 years old. 4-year-old Aarakocra that looks similar to a barn owl, and she is primarily a rogue. She's dabbled in a few things. One of them being out of spite, another one being out of opportunity, that being wizard and warlock. She is primarily a swashbuckler rogue, and yeah, you're going to roll your eyes, is a bit of a kleptomaniac. Very bubbly. She's in several ways still innocent, but at the same time also prone to fits of anger, rage, and irrationality. She does not like responsibility. It is in fact one of her biggest fears, along with being alone. Up next, we'll go with Red. Red is a lizard folk, first and foremost. His primary characteristic is that he's good at hunting. He, like most lizard folk, doesn't really convey emotion much, nor really regards it. It's not a thing for lizard folk, so he focuses mainly on action rather than thinking. Formerly, he had the idea to essentially had a somewhat lengthy plan, lengthy for a lizard folk that is, to resurrect the fallen members of the trials, or participants, and incite a sort of rebellion. Which was risky, thankfully it didn't have to come to that. And let's say we found friends question mark
Hopefully.
to help us on this venture of righting the wrongs that is the trials. Last but not least, actually pretty much least, he's very small, is Snuggo. He is a kobold alchemist and is fascinated with poisons, the creation of which and also the stopping of which, since he himself had been made deathly ill and chronically ill from an acid rain that he had been caught in, and also watching a student of the trials get poisoned to death in front of him.
Alright. We do not own any of the art that is in this, and yeah, I don't think it's gonna matter because nobody's probably gonna watch this, but just wanted to put that out there. Who's next?
I can go.
Alright.
Hi, I am Nick. I am playing 4 characters in this campaign. One will be sent to the background very, very soon, as that's where we are in the story. But introductions. So, I am playing the Kalishtar sorcerer Corin. He doesn't know who he is. Well, at least for the most part, he doesn't know his past, amnesiac, whatnot. And he, for the first half of the group, he's been the kind of a, hey, we're still kids, let's have fun character. Until events led him to be a lot more serious, but hey, he may be making a comeback to his more jovial self. So. Right, then there's also the Warforged cleric, Smith. He is a cleric of the Forge, worshipping Hephaestus, and he cares more about material objects and crafts than people. And he is very fascinated about, he likes to learn about the things around him, and recently has taken up a fascination with beatboxing. Yeah, he is very he is very literal with a lot of things, and he does not understand a lot of the social norms that people in this world have. So some interesting interactions there. And then I'm also playing Solomon, who's a rogue warlock. He's, for the earlier half of the campaign, he was an antagonist to the party because he wanted to make sure he survived, so he tried killing other people to make sure that happened. And through happenstance of a little kobold was brought into the party and is now working with them. He also may be a fiend pact, so
We'll take
that?
care of that.
Yeah,
There's
he is.
Water under the bridge.
Yeah.
It's not like anybody's aligned with the Summer Queen or anything.
He is very he is a realist and a pessimist. And he is quite the shot, because with his rifles. Okay, and now for the character that's going to be going to the background soon is the Arachne wizard Isrix. Now, Arachne is a homebrewed race for basically a playable drider, for lack of a better term, but split off between different spider races. He is of the Widow variety, and he has a strong sense of what's proper. He's very analytical and logical, as wizards are, but he has an absolutely debilitating fear of the Fae.
It's okay. It's not like anybody is
don't let
aligned
the
with
Fae-
an archfey.
Don't let the Fae know that.
Oh, I'm sure they already know that.
That's a terrifying concept.
We only were in the Feywild for a while, in front of an archfey for a little while.
I actually don't know.
It was like 2 months.
And so, yeah, that's all the characters that I'm currently playing.
Alright. Next on.
I suppose I can go. Let's see here. I am playing 2 different characters. One is Laptican, who is a Vidalcan wizard, who was yoinked from the plane of Ravnica and deposited in this world, and wants to get back. But he's taken a liking to this odd group of people, and he dispenses his wisdom that he has randomly every so often. He is a wizard. I'm sorry, sorcerer, with a smattering of other classes added in, like a warlock, for instance, just because. And he likes knowledge, like all like spellcaster characters typically want to do. However, we might be able to see one of his spells used today. In fact, I hope the DM will have a lot of fun with that. Then we have Ulven, who is a shifter. And he's from, I think, the similar plane that the Kalistar is from, which is the what's it called again? Mike, I remember the Eberron, and he was also yoinked from there, and he doesn't like it here. He definitely wants to go home, and so he's looking for portals or other means to get back as well. And that's he's a bit more. I would say a bit more serious. If he has a job to do, he does the job well and quickly and efficiently. He's more stoic than Laptican, who is a bit more neutral and carefree. He has only recently joined the party, although he has been tailing the party as per his orders to observe and not interfere with their travels. And he is a Gloomstalk Ranger with 3 levels of Rogue, because hilariously power is just being able to be in the woods and no one can find you, and he kills whoever is in the forest trying to find him. And I think that's about it.
Yep.
For my character.
Considering the number of characters that are, that have
Yes.
have at least one level of one or more levels in Warlock, I'm starting to see now why minors are not beheld to legal contracts.
Yes. Nope.
Yeah, no, probably shouldn't trap minors in that.
Yes.
Alright, last one.
I'm Black Minx, and I'm only playing 1 character. Her name is Serena Lore. And my other 2 characters, well, one of them ended up shot dead by a certain party member, and the other one just plain disappeared. So Serena Lore, She's a human sorcerer, and she likes to learn more about her people and where she's from. She's mysterious. She doesn't really talk much. Doesn't really interact much with others. And I'll admit she's kind of a slave flirt. Sometimes she'll let emotions judge her. Cloud her judgment, especially during combat. And she was friends with one of the characters.
All right. So the setting is a post-apocalyptic America, mostly in the West Coast.
So America.
Yeah.
I mean,
basically, there was this big long war. Everybody finally got fed up with each other. There was this hour-long war where all the nukes were sent on each other. There was radiation fallout. There was all of that. The war only lasted an hour though, so there's that. Afterwards, there were small clumps of humans in the more rural areas of the West Coast that were able to survive and rebuild. At some point, the scientists all got smart enough to construct a portal that would lead you to other dimensions. There was a rift over an Exalis that allowed this to happen. Unfortunately, humanity had not learned from their errors, from their ways, and had another war over this portal. The resulting chaos ended up breaking the portal, making it to where it was only a one-way in portal. There was no way off Earth, but people could still come to Earth on accident. This led to many of the more exotic races, lizard folk, Yuan-Ti, Warforged, elves. It led to all of that being able to come into Earth and just getting trapped here. Over the years, that made a lot more diverse groups, a lot more bloodlines and everything coming in, and different areas were able to start to recoup and form little communities, all based around the capital, which is right about where Eastern Washington. In this early time, magic was a very important tool and was pivotal to the survival of all of the peoples in the land. It helped to rebreathe life into contaminated soil. It helped purify food and drink and all of this, and it was very vital. And over the years, it technology advanced once again, and it started not being as useful. At some point, at a turning point during this time, the government decided that we wanted to preserve the magic bloodline in everybody who lived here and make sure that stayed strong and didn't fall out of use with time. So they created this event called the Trials. The Trials was originally intended to help identify and strengthen people who had the gift of being able to use magic. This program is still ran today, and they state that their goal is to maintain the magic in the community, and they state that their goal is just the same as it always was. Our players have been selected for their magical talent one way or another and have been selected to participate in this over time. People have died. The first couple tests were proctored and very dangerous. Snogo watched another classmate die in front of his eyes. It was a hard time. After 3 little tests there, they were set out into the wilds of Southern California, and were instructed to make the trek all the way back up to Seattle. They got most of the way there. They got to about Salem or Portland, Oregon, before they were contacted by a group that claims to be rebels and are intending on taking down the government to put a stop to this gruesome and horrific entity that is the Trials. Would anybody else have anything they would like to add to that?
I don't know how I feel about the word claim to be rebels.
Well, we've never technically found a way to prove what they're saying.
Yeah.
Is what our DM is trying to say.
So, all we need to do is get all of the faculty involved with the trials and all of the people who claim to be rebels in one 60-foot radius area, and then someone with Meteor Storm just...
Alright. A couple of major
Hey,
NPCs
Istrix just actually got that.
were introduced along the way. There was she and Lynn, who started out at the very beginning of this. She was a little changeling and was a beautiful bard and a wonderful healer for the group. Lynn was an old hat. She had been reincarnated because my version of reincarnate is different than the textbook version. She had already been through the trials once and then had to grow up again as a lizard folk, as a Yanti abomination in a lizard folk's body. Lynn is, in my world, the word for crazy and draconic. She helped She helped the group with murderous tendencies by providing relief from said tendencies when needed, and has helped guide the group along a less treacherous path up until now, when they went all the way back down to Southern California to see what we could do with these rebels. There is also Cress, her mate, who had passed away in the last run of the trials that Lynn was in. They have since gotten married, and he's been revived. They got married.
Hooray!
She is in charge of the bulk of the Yanti population down here in the Sands, which is mostly Yanti purebloods or something of the kind, or in general cold-blooded things that need the warmth of, a desert to survive. She currently is in her reincarnated form that looks like a snake.
Nick.
And I believe that is the bulk of our characters and history. Right?
Yes, and also, just gonna drop this with absolutely no context, Snowgo's going to try and build a tank at some point, like a Tesla tank. Stay tuned for the explanation behind that.
The very last session that we just did, the group had gone to save She, who was taken by a dragon in an earlier expedition session.
Yeah.
We have since retrieved She and some very valuable magical resources that we can use.
Yep, we had taken She as well as the ancient white dragon's life.
Yep, very swiftly.
As one should.
Turns out that waking up to a tactical alpha strike is not very conducive to prolonged lifespans.
Oh. So you all have just returned from this. You're tired. You brought back some wonderful spoils of war, and you are the next day invited to a feast to celebrate the achievement that you guys have done. Let me lay out my characters. I'm sorry I'm not using tokens and that I'm just using letters. I didn't want to get tokens.
It is fine. What is it? Snowgo has been, I think Snowgo had stayed behind, I believe.
Yes, Snowgo.
And he's been busy working on a suit.
Damn it. I'm having a real hard time picking these up. I'm glad they don't move that much.
Oh, the letters?
Yeah.
Yeah, you may want to use tokens. Or actually, you know what?
I just didn't want to get all the art for it.
Well, here, instead of doing the drawn ones, you just use text.
That's true. I could very well just do that. That is a good idea.
Just replace each one, since text is easily reselectable.
Maybe not quite 72. Let's go down to 56. Okay, we have Dave. I'm not sure if you guys know names, because I don't know how much attention you guys have been paying to what's going on around you.
I don't exactly remember. I don't remember Dave being introduced.
Nope. He is definitely new.
Wait, was Dave the name of the guy that was supposed to make sure that we were disarmed when we entered the base?
Yes. No, you're right. Actually, Dave is. P T. How many do I have left? I think I need a J. Alright, let's try this again.
Not see a J, so a J would be probably a good idea. Alright, let's see. Gotta re-familiarize myself with these characters. What the fuck was I building?
Knowing
right.
you
Oh, yeah,
a lot.
Oh yeah, that's right. He is a desolator.
Yes. My apologies for taking so long.
Take your time.
Yeah, it's been a few weeks since we've played.
Yes, use this time to refamiliarize yourselves. Let's see. He's in the kitchen. Over here, probably. He's in the kitchen. He's in the kitchen. He's in the kitchen. These guys can just be scattered about. Actually, some of them. So this isn't accurate precisely. I will, as details come up, I will move them around to where they are supposed to be, actually. But you guys have been invited to dinner. So let's all who's gonna go to this dinner here?
Let's see. So Calypso definitely is going to. Red never passes up food.
That would be ridiculous.
Snogo probably will as well. Take a small break from his work. That Lynn probably was there to watch him.
Yeah, she tried to help.
No, it doesn't go there.
No, not that. Cress is actually in the where we left him. She is definitely going where Corin is going. And this is your guys' chance to not play multiple characters for this. If somebody didn't go to the dinner, they didn't go to the dinner.
What do you think I am? Wise?
Did I get everybody's tiles out?
Is success paperwork.
Is there excess paperwork to do? Alright. Lynn is gonna go to the dinner because food. And she'll probably have
See what Snogo can do.
Serena will go. Also go.
Alright, go up near Corn or move yourself into the building, actually. Yeah, do that. Oop, forgot somebody at this table. And we, of course, have the commander, the guy in charge of the area, who joined the dinner. I think
Not an Alep.
Not an Alep.
Ouch.
He is still going to be represented by an Alep, though. He will sit over here, probably.
Authority is pretty scary.
Mm.
Sit there. There we go. Authority will sit at that back table, and he has his second in command, the turtle guy.
All right. Definitely.
Fair.
Here, 1 second. Let me get.
Mesa's gonna stay behind. I would like to remind Smith and who's our other Warforged? Mesa. Nope, not Mesa. There was 3 Warforged.
Hydroid is gone.
Oh, you're right.
Hydroid got lost.
I would like to remind Smith then that he does also have the indicate feature.
Indicate.
I do remember.
Okay.
But Smith would not go to feast. Wait. No, Smith would go to the feast, realize what's going on, and then leave.
Alright, so we'll start off with him inside with the other people. Olvin, are you going to be sitting with Big Boy in charge?
I messaged you asking if this is a common occurrence, if these kinds of feasts /
This is
kind of get-togethers are typical.
This is common. It's I mean, there was a massive development made with the with you guys getting these things. It's more of a celebration. They're just celebrating a small win.
Okay. So you want me over here then, or?
The round ones are actually where they're serving food. I think since you're an existing person in this community, you can sit with the Big Boy.
Alright, he'll sit over there. I guess Laptican will also join. Put him, I assume he's somewhere like here-ish. Somewhere.
Roland and Calypso will move over. Snowgo and Red, are we all gonna sit at one table with Serena?
Let's see.
It's not completely to scale. There's a lot more room in between you guys. Let's say each square is maybe 10 feet or 15.
Okay.
At least.
I'm just listening for something. These are the exact same thing. What the hell? Different wording, same audio file.
Alright. All of these areas that are a little diagonal are doors from the kitchen into the other room. Oh, there's the boat. There you go. Thank you.
That was loud. Holy shit.
I apologize.
It was at 100%.
See if that's going
Oh.
through the stream. Okay.
So, imagine my surprise when I cannot hear the DM over the sound of everyone fucking talking.
The sound of party.
Sound of violence too, interestingly.
There we go.
This is not a real party unless there's a fireball.
It definitely lights up crowds.
I mean, what's a party without fireworks?
There we go. Alright.
Okay. Snuggle probably sit close to Smith.
Alright. So, you guys are all eating, enjoying your meal. Smith and Mesa have decided to, or not Smith, Izarix and Mesa have decided to stay in the room you guys have been given. And it's a pretty overall nice dinner. Is anybody looking around? It's kind of like a buffet sort of situation. There's lots of food put out on these oval tables. Both tables have the same types of food. It's just on 2 different tables, so if you're over here, you don't have to walk all the way over to the other side of the room.
Snuggo probably will be looking around a bit. He also... No, it's the people. The people next to him just wouldn't care.
I'm gonna try and scoot them in a little bit. B
They're
is
sitting
at-
on the tables.
B is at the top of the head of this table. The other big table in the room.
Okay.
He's sitting at the head of. God damn it.
It's fine. They're gonna align
There.
on the grids.
Yeah.
Eventually.
All right. Who was looking around? What were we?
Snuggle and... No.
All right. This just kind of looks like people
These
having
two,
some fun.
probably.
The table right behind you guys, this one right here, where the next most people are sitting at, is kind of a loud table. You're hearing some noisy noises coming from it. Let me get my noisy noise makers. This isn't the noisy noise that is being made. This is. Hearing that noise every now and then, and there's people are taking
Gambling?
turns talking. It seems pretty interesting. Not being too terribly noisy. Off in the distance, you hear kitchen noises, and occasionally a minotaur comes out, and no, sorry, an orc comes out and sets some more food on one of the tables.
Awesome. So, Snuggo, can I roll for him to... It's like, he's probably going to just be paying attention to smells in the air, because he just likes... Alright, 1 second.
Alright, yeah, no, there's some pretty damn good smells in the air. You're surprised by the way it smells? You wouldn't think like a little army base would have decent food. They're not really known for that. But, you smell one particular thing that you have smelled before, and go ahead and roll a history check.
Oh, 1 sec. It's what was it again?
A history check. To
Alright, roll
identify a
his-
specific smell.
Oh wow, he has a...
Oof! Alright! You were smelling the smelly smell of cooked eggs. These are very special eggs. They are turtle eggs.
So it's...
Lynn
So-
looks very pleased when she notices the smell also.
So it's Snuggo's just going to lean in closer. It's like, hey, these are turtle eggs. And it's like, what? It's like, oh! It's like, turns to Lynn. It's like, hey, they're cooking turtle eggs.
Lynn's like, I know, I'm so excited.
If I could physically kill you over the internet, I would.
This has been labeled as a delicacy in my world.
What the fuck?
Apparently the rebels took cues from the Yanti.
There's a
Plot twist,
wide
the rebels are
variety-
led by Yanti.
There's a very wide variety of creatures here. Looking around the room, you see a bugbear, some humans, more lizard folk, a dwarf, it's not called a giant in D&D. It's called
A troll?
Goliath.
a Goliath. There's
Oh,
a
yeah.
Goliath hanging around. There's all sorts of people.
Very
So is
confused.
there food immediately available, by the way?
You've got like the kind of like the pick at while you're waiting for the main course food out. You've got bread, you've got some chips, simple stuff like that. It's just appetizers.
Red is not eating them like appetizers.
Ouchies.
Red is just eating. Alright, anybody else? She is probably contributing to the music in the room. She's just kind of playing along on her guitar.
Oh. Well, so hey, so I actually found something for you.
Oh! What is it?
And I just have to look up what this instrument looks like really quick. because, instrumental bards,
Yep.
they have those weird names. Oh, so it's basically... Okay, so Corin pulls out a lute.
All right.
So, this is magic.
She is going to make an Arcana check if I can find her character sheet. Where the
1 second.
fuck is it? Here it is.
So, like what this thing... It's like, it will, let you cast some spells through it, like once per day.
Interesting.
Like, Cure Wounds, Fog Cloud,
Oh, that's not
Fly,
supposed to be.
Visibility.
She believes you, but shows no recognition or awe in her eyes.
So, also, Corin, as you're listing it off, it's Red looks up at you for a moment and says, "That's not magic, it's a lute."
Corin looks over and says, "Well, your hammer's magic." No, your axe is magic. Same principle. Same idea.
He looks off to the side slightly, like trying to contemplate it, tried to grasp it. Just defaults to a nod, continues eating.
Ah, yes. I don't understand. I hope my window's a bit better organized. So you guys are chatting, doing whatever you guys are doing for a while, and then
So,
Go ahead.
at some point when the table's all empty of food, Smith looks around at the table and just like, yeah, puts his hands out and just conjures more food on the table.
Alright. What is he? I wrote it down. Alright, a Minotaur comes out and an ogre come out, and they are... an orc, sorry, they come carrying out big, huge plates of food. They're sizable creatures each, and they're both fully laden on this trip. They're... Maybe you're worried they might drop something from the sheer amount of weight of food that they're carrying. They drop off some food and go stand next to the doors real quick, and big boss guy will stand up and is like, "Hey, I would like to make a toast to the new recruits, new helpers, new friends who we attribute our success to today. You did a damn good job with that dragon, and I hope we can continue working together." And he raises his glass, and everybody else raises their glass, and there's a little hurrah, and he'll sit back down, and George and Senator announce what they have put out on the tables. They have a small amount of turtle eggs. They've got some very nice roast beef. They've got some steak, fish. It's a lot of forageables, but it's very well prepared. And then they head back in and head back into the kitchen, and you guys are left to have the main course.
Nice.
So Smith looks at all the food that they just brought in, and all the food that he just made appear on the table, and he just walks out.
Oh!
Alright, Smith has left.
Offended.
Tension.
Lynn, as soon as the go-ahead has been given to eat, she runs over, she gets, most of the eggs, and goes and sits back down. She did leave a couple, to her credit. She left a good 5. Surprising.
Out of how many?
Out of, let's say there was...
30?
No, okay, let's say she left about 25, and there was 30. She took a little bit of this and that. There was a roasted nut dish that she took, and she's eating it pretty happily. Go ahead.
Alright. Red's not going to hesitate to go up either. He good. Yes. Almost goes to grab just one piece of the meat by hand before he's stopped, given a plate. He looks at the plate. He looks.
You.
Oh yes, a kobold and a goblin will be at the different tables offering plates and cutting off meat for people if they want it.
The only reason Red is using a plate is because he can hold more food on it than if he used his hands.
Alright.
Corn's gonna go track down some fruit.
Alright, some fruits. Go ahead and make your way into the kitchen.
Pretty easy to track down fruit, doesn't really move.
Serena goes to one of the tables and just gets a piece of bread and just goes back down.
Okay.
Down to the table. She's not that hungry.
Alright, Corin, you walk into the kitchen and you see Senator and George are chatting. They're just kind of tidying up. Looks like they've done the bulk of their cooking, and considering how much food they brought out, that checks out. You see somebody leaving out a door down here as you come in. And yeah, go ahead.
Hi guys, do you guys have any fruit back here?
Yeah, sorry, but we didn't put any out. And he goes over here and gets into what seems to be like a nice cold box, basically a refrigerator. He hands you some grapes, walks over to the workstation, cuts up a melon. You've never... he probably does it pretty quick. He's experienced at this. It makes you think he's definitely the main cook here. He's cooked quite a bit in his day. He's cut many a melon. He hands over the plate and kind of shoos you out of his kitchen.
Okay. You're gonna bring the fruit out, or am I waiting until you're done taking a...
Oh, he handed you like a small platter of like grapes and melons and just shooed you away.
Oh.
Okay. Corn goes over. It's like, okay. Thank you very much.
As Calypso looks back at Lynn, he's like, hey, do you think that they have dessert in there?
I don't know, maybe. I'm sure they'll bring it out.
Corn goes and flies back over to the table.
It's like, she says, let's find out. And gets up from her seat and using her invocation casts invisibility on herself.
Wait! Lynn says, wait, and then like stands up and bumps into you real quick. And then she herself will... She doesn't have anything. She'll just kind of fall... Oh, Does she want to burn a 7th level spell for this?
Oh, good lord.
Wow.
Let's see. How much does she want to commit to Calypso's bit here? A 3, not that much. She is rather perturbed that you interrupted her from her eggs, but she is coming with you anyways. So you make your way into the kitchen, probably a bit better than she does. She just kind of stops at the door and peeks in. What are you doing in the kitchen?
So it's like, okay, you open the door.
Lena opens it and kind of...
And the moment that...
in-out door, and she pulls it out to her, which is odd when you're walking into a room for like a kitchen that has an in-out door that goes either direction, but she opens it up for you.
Alright, 1 second, I need to check something.
Pretty obvious, but you know, maybe she didn't know that she could just push in.
Okay, so it doesn't do anything for that. So, yeah.
Yeah,
That-
nope. I'm not even gonna bother.
it just slips right under. It's like, okay, I don't know, you're kind of visible. It's like, hey, it's like she's gonna just dart over to this corner of the room,
Okay.
just leave Lynn to get noticed.
Lynn just kind of like looks around real quick. It's a mild panic. looks at the Minotaur and the orc and is like, I was wondering if you guys would be making more of those eggs. And Sanitar kind of looks at her up and down like, okay, yeah, checks out that she's asking for him. No, we don't have any more. If our scouts bring in some more, though, we can definitely have some tomorrow or something. Depends on what the scouts bring. And Lynn kind of, well, she kind of looks around the room.
Yes.
I was wondering if there would be any dessert, maybe? And they're like, well, we're still working on it. Get out, or we won't make you dessert. And Lynn's like, okay. Goes back.
Okay.
Calypso.
Thanks.
Make a perception check.
Alrighty. Just making nothing but mischief here. Alright, perception. Pooh.
Alright, you are right next to like a larger cabinet. It's not necessarily a cabinet, but like a just a food storage. It's got like kind of glass. It's a glass box like you put pies in and whatnot.
Okay. So
And,
she's basically sitting back and people watching. Invisibility lasts an hour.
all right. So you see the pies. There's quite a few in there. Senator walks over next to you, pulls something out, brings it over to the work table over here next to George, and they begin icing it. Is Calypso going to leave or try and steal a pie? What? She just gonna stay in the kitchen?
Let me see. Actually, I'll roll for this specifically. Gotta make sure that she's not at an advantage. Okay, rolling normally. As she watches them, mildly amused by the cooking process.
Alright. She notices that they've got these big bags and they're putting I'm assuming Calypso knows what frosting and icing is. They're packing some icing in there and they're piping it out. At first you thought this was a pie, but this is in fact a cake that they pulled out. And,
Aha!
it looks nice enough.
Magic, I knew it.
On a 10, they're kind of talking as they're working. You're a little too far away in the kitchen to be able to hear them. There's a fire crackling in the middle that they use for the oven and whatnot.
It's the investigation was more or less to see whether or not if she was going to pay attention to the cooking process.
Oh, okay.
She's just sitting here, mostly waiting it out. After about half an hour, she eventually leaves. Well, prepares to leave, knows that the door is closed and that she's invisible, and looks back and is like,
I'm gonna call this probably a pro gamer move.
Wonder if they believe in ghosts.
The answer may surprise you.
going to... Let's see.
Oh my god.
Gonna try and see if she can just slip by the door unnoticed.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, the door opens and closes.
Yeah, well, it's whenever they're not.
Yeah.
She's ideally gonna do it when they're not at least looking the direction.
Alright, so she just slip out. As she's slipping out the door and it's kind of shutting behind her, she hears George like, that ghost again. She's able to make her way back to your guys' table.
Corn is eating the little bits of fruit after he freezes them with shape water.
Alright.
Goodness.
The kobold and the goblin make their way back into the kitchen. Shortly after everybody's had at least one plate, they make their way back in, and they're coming out occasionally to collect different things, different dirty plates and whatnot, cups, anything that's doesn't need to be used. We'll say that this table over here is used for where you place your dirty stuff.
The first thing that Lynn is going to say, no, that Eclipse is going to say to Lynn, like, did you know this place is haunted?
No, I didn't.
No explanation. That's it. That's it.
All right.
I hope you didn't want anything more than that.
Everybody, the kobold comes out, makes his way back over to the other serving table. He's got like some new sides in his hand. He's got like some whipped cream, some more fruits, general dessert like stuff, and the kobold goes out to the kobold's at the top table, the goblin's at the bottom table. George comes out and is bearing a pie and a couple of different desserts that are pretty easily made. There's nothing overly fancy. We're looking at like strawberry shortcake, simple sort of, as refined as you can get while still using simple materials and processes. And then the lights go out. Flash, 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 darkness. It stays out, there's a commotion, and then the lights come back on. Give me a perception check.
Alrighty.
Not everyone or specific people.
I mean, everybody was in the room with the lights to go out, so everyone can make it.
Okay.
Does my passive 25 do anything with dark vision?
Alright, so that is
Forgot
Solomon's
dark vision
roll.
existed. Let's say no, because it was magical darkness.
Cool.
It was magic.
Oh.
Oh. Wait, 1 second. Also, so as 30 feet. Okay, 1 second. I need to check something.
So when the darkness happens, Corn's
Is
gonna look
anything-
around, immediately pull on his goggles of night,
Mhm.
and not see anything, because apparently magical darkness.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
It's just like, what?
I want to ask, does any individual not who they seem to be? As in, like, are they concealing themselves with illusion or transmutation magic?
How would you know?
Which site?
Okay, thank you for reminding me. No, everybody seems pretty genuine here.
All right. Where is it? Any creature that's trying to look my way with dark vision, they can't see me.
Okay. Which one of you?
So any creature that has dark vision that's looking in my direction. can't.
The ranger.
Ulvin or okay.
It's Ulvin. Sorry.
Yeah,
it's for Ulvin.
that happens for both Red and Ulvin.
Okay.
Ooh.
That's fine. As you guys look around at what happened, I don't think Corin notices. He's maybe too concerned with checking on She.
Let me check for Calypso, because Calypso definitely would. I'd catch her attention.
Lynn is blind. She is eating.
It's like, flashing lights. I'm eating here.
Solomon is on high alert with the perception 26.
All right.
Red is also on very high alert. Doesn't like that the flat. That's not Calypso. That's Red. That was Red's 23.
All right. You guys notice that looking up in the corner, the second in command has a knife in his chest now.
Oh.
Oh no.
Aren't I near them? God damn it! How did I not see this happen?
The first in command looks very startled. He calls for everybody to be quiet. Nobody's to leave or go. Yeah. Doors are being locked by a couple of guards who weren't important enough to give a token. And you are all in a bottle.
Warren casts Fireball. No.
Nobody is to leave until we find the murderer.
We apparently went from
Well.
D&D to Clue real quick.
Eh.
So first thing Corn is going to do, after realizing what's happened, is he's going to use magical sight to detect magic.
Okay. Many of the people around you at your table have various magical items on them. In fact, the Warforged Smith is mostly magic.
Not in
Smith
here.
left. Never mind.
Never mind.
Looking at the table that is directly across from you guys, there's a couple of little magical trinkets on the table. You're not able to identify them from here, but they do have a little aura around them. That's mostly it's mostly visual effects. You can tell that much. I forgot what type of school it is. I suppose Calypso would have seen it too. But
Illusion?
It's illusionary magic at their table. The tables, these big circular tables, are enchanted with a strengthening to make sure they don't break under heavy loads and whatnot. It's not too fancy in terms of magic. It's just some little utility things here and there.
Well,
we should change the music. Something more fitting of a
murder mystery.
Spooky.
yeah.
I mean, I have a spooky one that's ready to play.
Okay, give us
Although
the spook.
It's a bit intense, but okay.
I like it. All right.
Well, okay, so. Well, I guess we have to. Corn just immediately looks to everyone and says, what's the plan?
The head in command, I forgot his name. We'll call him Thomas.
Bobby.
Bobby, was that his name?
I don't know.
We're gonna stick
I'm
with
making
Thomas. So Thomas is going to demand that everyone be interviewed, and is he wants to stay safe. He's going to have the body moved into the kitchen as well.
All right, so is it
So
safe to say that
it's Snook. Snook will be like, wait, don't move it.
Alright, yeah,
Gonna
so we
mess
can
things
stop
up.
him.
it's right next to me? I'm right next to it. I'm looking at the body. What do I see?
There is a
I'm looking for any hair that doesn't look like the person who's now dead's hair.
I'm gonna need a
Any-
perception roll for noticing hairs.
Okay,
Going to Sanctuary on
34.
Okay.
on the head in command.
Alright, so you're closely looking at the body. You're seeing quite a large stab wound in his chest.
Is it a stab wound or is the knife still there?
There is a wound.
Oh, the weapon is not here.
And under closer investigation, you see a small injection into the neck.
All right. Well, also now that I see that the weapon is not here, I'll quickly look around. Do I see any blood splatter that isn't from the body anywhere else on the ground nearby or anywhere? Do I see any blood,
Yeah, you
like
see
drips of it?
some there's blood splashed up against the wall and onto the table here. There the 34 on perception. Can I get an investigation roll just so I can feel a little bit more comfy?
Climbing on the table now. How deep is the wound?
Looks like it's maybe the size of a large chef knife or so. It's pretty deep, but not like sword deep. And a dagger would be too shallow.
So somewhere between a dagger and a short sword.
Your investigation, there's some small blood just in this corner. You're not able to tell what was tracked and what was splattered.
I'm sorry, tracked?
You're not able to tell if something was like tracked from somebody fleeing or if it was just splattered. On a 13, I don't think you can tell that distinction.
Okay. And is he dead? Is he sitting in a chair dead, or did he fall to the ground dead?
He's in his chair still.
Okay, where is the knife wound?
The knife wound is probably just a little off to the side of his, on the right side of his chest. It looks like, the medicine of 26. It looks like his lung was definitely severely impacted by this wound.
The lung was perforated. Okay.
Yeah, it went all the way through.
Did it hit? That would have hit an artery.
Yep.
That means there's blood everywhere. By the way, that's like
Yeah.
a lot of.
Yeah, that's why
Well-
it's a little hard to tell what is splatter and what was dripped.
Okay.
Arterial veins cause lots of. Okay, I'm gonna say nothing.
So
So,
Orange just gonna fly over and says, "Well, so what's going on?" And
trying to get minimal information firsthand. It's Snuggle looks at the head in command.
How much blood is on him? There should be a lot.
There is a good amount. It's mostly on the side of him. It
Yep.
doesn't look like it's on him front on.
Forgive me about this. He's gonna grab a spoon, insert the handle into wound, give an angle. From where was he stabbed?
Off to the right.
So
It's on the right side of the chest, and it was stabbed in from the right side.
Okay.
Whoever did it was standing over here somewhere while the lights were out.
Standing
I'm
over
going-
where?
Over on
Over
this
here?
side of the table. Yeah. He could have been here or here from the angle. He could have stood here and wrapped his arm around or stood here and stabbed straight out.
so Corey's gonna do a quick fly around the room and see if there's anybody with any blood on them. Seeing as how this was, major artery and whatnot.
Yeah, let's do a investigation or a perception. Lynn is going to ask Red to guard some doors with her. And we'll probably
Red will try to
instruct-
refrain from adding to the crime scene.
We'll probably instruct Calypso to guard the other kitchen door and Solomon to get the last one, leaving she and Serena at the table.
Alright, so Corey is going to use Empowering Reserves to give himself some advantage on this investigation check.
Okay.
That's a 26 and a 10, so a 26.
Alright, you're seeing You're seeing people with red on them. You're not sure if it is blood, if it's sauce. There was a spaghetti sauce that was out there earlier, because that's another pretty simple thing to make from raw ingredients. And
Pigs. Nasty.
Okay, so who
say-
has? Okay, so which of the people have the red sauce on them?
I'm gonna label the people who have red with some red.
Okay.
I think these
Alright.
guys have red on them, and then
So, I just want. So
Say-
I'm.
this guy has some red.
How long were the lights out?
They were out a solid minute or two.
Oh.
And it wasn't just lights were out, it was magical darkness. So there was a good chunk of time when people were just, what do?
Man, the one time that I don't have Devil's Sight on a Warlock.
Shame. Alright, so the people who have some red highlight in their token have some
So
red
this is the
spots.
information we have.
I send you a message in DMs.
Okay, I didn't see it. It was, it was
Oh.
indeed here.
It was indeed right there.
Yeah.
Okay. Did I know what direction that the person or whatever went in?
They went off this way, and
'Cause I didn't know he was dead yet, so I can't
Yeah.
I can't follow. But I know they went this direction. So now I'll start looking in that direction, and I'm gonna start looking at people.
Yeah, so the red marking is essentially like it's where they could have been.
Well, no, I
Okay.
have blind sense, so I
Oh.
sensed it. I couldn't know out of character that he was being dead. So I now
He
can
was
put
being
together.
deaded.
Oh, there was someone who fled this direction. I will now start looking.
give me. I'm gonna make a roll real quick. Okay, I would like you to make a disadvantaged perception roll for me.
Hold on.
2,
Retroactively.
3, 4, 5, 6.
Hold
8.
on.
Shit.
I am going to do this. My eyes will start glowing.
Okay.
I now have advantage when I make wisdom checks.
Okay.
Perception is a wisdom
This
wisdom
is a
thing.
retroactive roll, though. This is
Oh.
a when the lights were out roll.
Oh, okay.
Oh my goodness.
So I rolled 16 then, unless my passive can't 25. But okay.
Magical effects were in play. I'm going to use your roll instead of your passive.
Let's see. So also, Snogo is going to telepathic bond
Mm-hmm.
to link
So Ulvin did hear a scuffle. He is not sure if he heard the door that was on that side of the room open or not, though. There was some noises.
Are there guards over there? Are there guards over there?
There are not guards at that door. There were some
I
noises.
can-
People over here were shocked noises, and there was just movement all around this area.
I can link everyone. I can link all but one party member together with telepathic bond.
How many inspiration do you have?
Snogo. He have 2 inspiration.
Can't some of us just actually telepathically communicate?
Oh yeah, no, Corin can just telepathically communicate. So if you just
So
go
you
Yeah,
just
over
don't
there
pick
and
Corin.
go
But it's
and
not.
mouse it.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Guards didn't talk to us.
Yeah, okay.
It's like so. It's Snogo. It's like leans into whispers like, "Hey, I'm gonna put down telepathic bond. so that whatever information comes to light isn't preemptively heard by anyone else.
All right.
Keep the drop on them.
I want to know when
this
you
will be
cast
our
it out.
pool of this information.
I want to know when you actually connect us. Whoever's casting this.
Snogo.
Okay. Has it already happened?
Yeah, it's just
okay.
It's
You hear Ulven cursing vehemently in a number of different words because he is not amused in the slightest. And once he finds out that he's talking, he'll stop cursing as much, and he'll inform everyone that he sensed someone fleeing the table going this direction, but because of so many people moving, he didn't know at the time there's because someone had died, and then he tells them either the murderer is still in this room, or they could potentially have fled out the door before anyone actually found out that there was a murder happening, because it was apparently 2 minutes of pure darkness.
It's 1 minute.
1 minute. Okay. Cool.
It's all right. So everybody else, what is your findings so far? For me, the weapon has to be within the size, ranging on the size of a dagger to a short sword. And when they killed him, they were, where he said it was. So right along the wall over there. Oh, Nick's muted.
Oh no.
I forgot about that.
Oops.
I was like, Nick's been really quiet. I'm gonna check that
Okay.
out.
So Corin is going to link with Snoke and says, okay, so what happens, because he can only talk with one person at a time with his telepathy, unless he is allowed to weasel his way into the telepathic bond.
I'm willing to sacrifice 1 inspiration for that, if you also have it available.
Yeah, no, if you wanted to just have
Corin has plenty of inspiration. Corin has plenty of inspiration. He has 5, so he'll go and just hide. He'll just go and crash the telepathic party.
All right, that's fine.
Tapping in. All right.
Okay, so there are 5 people in the room that have a red liquid on them. I don't know if that was the spaghetti sauce from during the meal, or possibly blood.
It's the moment that you transmit that, Red is immediately starting to move. He's like, which ones?
Corin sends a mental image of the room with the people highlighted.
March.
All right. So, Red can gather up everybody next to the dish table who has some red on them.
Sniff.
All right, your perception has decided that George has blood on him. You can't identify what kind of blood. It could be animal blood from cooking, or
was he the cook?
Blood from killing. Yeah, he was a cook.
Yeah, okay. George and Sasson,
Mm-hmm.
I think that was his name, were the cooks.
Zind, the kobold here. Zind the kobold also has some blood and sauce on him. You cannot determine if it's from cooking or not, because he was one of the cooking people. The bugbear here has some jam on him. It's not sauce or blood, it is jam.
Alright, so are you able to change the color at least?
I'll change it to a purple or so.
Yeah, so
back to black if
or blue, actually blue.
Blue? Alright.
Yeah. Blue will be, it's probably not. Purple will be
sauce.
Suspicious, and red is high priority.
The human here, his name is Humudal. He has some sauce on him.
And the kobold, and which ones were the ones running food and dishes?
There's a kobold and a goblin.
Yeah, it was a kobold and goblin. Which
These
ones
two
were?
would also have had blood on them, or some sort of red on them. I'll move those over as well. They were also kitchen workers.
Okay.
This girl here, she appears to be a human. Her name is... where was it? Sylvia. She has some sauce and some blood on her. The Minotaur has sauce, blood, jam. He has all of it on him.
Okay, Minotaur purple.
Alright.
It's like, or
Do you want kitchen staff to be purple? We can make kitchen staff a specific color, if that will help.
Yeah, kitchen staff purple makes sense.
Okay.
yeah.
The blood that is on the lady here does it smells like cooked meat blood. It might not be, who knows? And all of these characters are in fact named, and I do have ideas for their personalities, so you are able to actually interview them.
Okay.
Wanted to put that out there for you guys.
Apologize for the dog.
That's alright.
No problem. So SS.
Sylvia.
Why? Okay, so Sylvia. What? Does she have blood, or is it?
There's definitely blood on her, but you're not sure if it's from cooked food. Maybe ask her. She was sitting all the way in this.
What foods were available?
There was some big roast. There was those eggs.
Fucking myoglobin. Yeah, plausible. All right.
Further investigation required to determine what is on her.
All right. It's Red Report. It's that these two don't have blood on them. It's just whichever.
Jam or sauce.
Yeah.
Are you going to let them return to where they were sitting?
Yep.
All right.
Move the. Oh fuck! Yeah. Put them back to where they originally were.
Okay. Get out of here. There. And then I believe he was at this table. Are we releasing kitchen staff to go back to where they were?
No.
Okay.
The chefs. I'd be more lenient with that possibility with the chefs, but the ones running dishes back and forth.
Okay. So
Definitely no.
We'll send George and Senator over to stand next to the kitchen between Lynn and Calypso. And we'll keep Zind and Cynic over here.
You know what? 1 second. Where was she sitting?
She was sitting all the way down here.
So he's going to point at everyone present. Don't move. Walk over. Look at her place setting. Her plate. What was she eating?
She was definitely eating a lot of meat. She had quite a few of those eggs on her.
Fucking humans.
She did mostly have a meat-filled plate. There was very few veggies on it. Looks like the veggies she picked was, you know, because she was expected to have veggies, not because she wanted them.
Yes. Yes, a fellow humanoid with a refined diet. It's also fucking human. So... Alright, walk
Red,
back.
actually, she doesn't quite smell human. I mean, the smell's on her, but it seems like a odd variant. Maybe closer investigation reveals she is indeed not human.
Yeah, he looks up and down. You're hiding something.
I'm a Yanti pureblood, sir.
What is the blood from? Also, where is the blood on her?
It's dropping my dice on the floor location. You know, that place on the body. There's a little
Is it
bit...
on her chest or is it on her sleeves and arms?
There's actually a little bit on her chest, and there is also some at the very tips of her sleeves.
Nice, the signs of a messy eater.
Yeah, that's exactly what he's going. Is Red's just going to say through the telepathic button, "Messy eater."
Just judging her.
Ah, yes. Of all people, just call a person a messy eater. The lizard folk.
She does another look around the room because she's nervously getting grilled. Looks at Lynn, immediately kind of shrinks a little, continues looking around the room, and just decides to stare at her feet.
While Red is doing that, Corn is going to try to shearlock the goblin.
Trying to what?
Sherlock.
Okay.
I'll spend another 2 key points, not key points, sorcery points.
Mm-hmm.
And to, with the whole, like from the BBC Sherlock thing with, Benedict Cumberbatch,
Mm-hmm.
like his entire thing, would that be insight, investigation, or some other skill?
Insight or investigation or some combination of.
Perception or
I think I would like an insight and an investigation roll.
Okay, so, and which one is the, goblin?
The goblin is S.
Okay. Corn's just gonna fly over here. Okay, and so I'll do the advantage on the investigation, not the perception.
Okay.
There's the perception. The investigation.
Alright. Investigation. He's definitely a little tired. He's been running food all day. He's been busy. And he trying to think of physical attributes that you would have noticed. Unless he was standing on a stool or had some sort of height thing, you don't think he could have stabbed the guy? Because he was stabbed in his chest, and, well, this one is a goblin, so not that tall.
ouch.
Yeah, and the blade wasn't angled at all, yeah?
Yeah, it was straight in. It was straight in. It wasn't from down below or up above.
Okay. Then Corn is going to glance over the kobold.
Looking over at your friend Kobold, he is at the right height where it's standing on the table to make that sort of incision, but not the right angle, so take that as you will.
Yeah, and also hearing someone jump on the table, like jumping up on the table,
is going to be perceived. Even there's no way that's not going to be perceived.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, so, as well, just adding one action to the queue after you have everything resolved with the next thing. The injection on the neck. Where is that?
Yes, I would have saved that.
That will be next in queue. I believe Corin is going to investigate the kobold now.
Yeah.
Okay, so he's not. I'm not going to be. I'm going to save some sorcery points for this. So,
Okay.
Kobold, 11 perception, investigation,
Oof.
9.
He's definitely been busy, just like the other one. You're not noticing too much in particular. He's trying to think of the right words for this. He's got some serving spoons and serving silverware like tucked in his pockets, but other than that, nothing else pops out too terribly much.
Okay, so alright, so Corin's going to note that. Then he's going to turn around and start telepathic communication with Thomas and asks, who in this room can use magic?
We all can.
Yeah.
Oh no, I'm not.
Thomas will respond, and most of the people here can, because a lot of the people were saved from having to participate in the trials one way or another. There's a few who can't, and he will point them out to you by me changing the colors of these characters. What color would we like non-magic users to be?
Pink.
Pink?
Actually brown, because mundane.
Oh, okay.
That's actually what I was thinking.
I know, but that's what I'm thinking.
Specifically though, which of those non-magical users are not rogues?
Alright, give me a minute.
Because the ones that aren't rogues, aka the ones that cannot have the ability to pick up line sight, are probably discounted.
That would have magic. He would have... he could not. Say he doesn't. Slightly different colors of brown. My apologies. There we go. And then... let's say... this one doesn't. And this one doesn't. And this one doesn't.
Okay, and can any of the cook staff use magic?
The cook staff have some magical items on them, but he doesn't know if they he doesn't actually know if they can use magic. Last he checked, they didn't, but they could be working on a wizardry or some sort of thing like that.
Okay.
They use a lot of magical items at the very least.
Okay, Corin is going to use Arcane Eyes to see if there's if any of the two white staff are have any blips on them.
Okay, yeah.
For their stuff.
One of them has a little, let's say S has a little container-looking thing on him that shows up as being magical. Z has a like his serving platter that he carries most of the food on. If he were carrying it out is magical, and you were just looking at those two, were you? Or were you looking at the chefs as well?
He's just to be thorough. He's gonna fly over, look at the chefs too.
Okay. They each have one magical item on them. It seems to be a bit more powerful than what the little ones held. These seem to be some sort of multi-tool. You're not really sure, just with your magical eyes, with your special eyes.
Okay, so what schools of magic are these items? Because detect magic does bring that up.
Abjuration, I think? What's that? It's conjuration or abjuration, whatever will allow something to change forms.
Transmutation.
Transmutation.
Leave me alone.
Okay, that's the multi. Those are the
Yeah.
Swiss Army knives that the two that the chefs have.
Yeah.
Okay, and what about the for the wait staff?
The wait staff, he had a platter. It had I'm not sure what kind of magic this is. I know somebody has the spell. Let me find it. There's a transmutation spell on his platter, and there is a... I don't know what this one would be.
There's one thing that's catching my curiosity.
A seasoning. It's a bottle of seasonings that'll change the seasoning depending on what you need. Say it's like the guy who comes out at your table at Olive Garden is like, "Hey, would you like some Parmesan or some pepper?" He essentially has that, and it'll do different materials. We're going to take
yeah, that could
really
be transmutation or conjuration.
so I could feed my cats because they are making horrible noises. So use this as a potty or deliberation break.
Okay.
One thing that's catching my curiosity greatly is the guy's twice dead, essentially.
He's twice over dead. Maybe more than dead.
Well, the thing is, needle.
There's the injection
and
in the neck.
Which makes me.
Needle in the neck, yeah.
Which makes me think
Which
two
makes
separate
me-
things.
Well, I think that someone missed. Because
It could be someone missed,
it was
or
right next to the head of the organization, and then second in command. And the second in command was hit twice.
Possibly. I mean, I had multiple thoughts. I thought maybe one thing could be, oh dear, Lord, who left?
Mifa.
Oh, okay. I have a couple of thoughts. One could be theoretically that it was two separate groups that tried to do something. Another is that it could have been botched because of the fact that maybe they didn't expect the darkness. At least not and one of them didn't, because they could have missed their mark entirely. Another thing could be possible is the one problem I have is that no one in this room can leave. Not even I wouldn't want to leave out of order. I wouldn't want anyone in this room to leave, because even the wait staff are potential people because of magic now, which is the big real hilarious thing in this campaign. And that leaves very few ways for someone to not be able to do something.
Yeah, the fact that it's magical darkness helps and hurts a lot.
It helps me,
Also-
the DM.
Yeah.
That was a lot of magical darkness too.
I don't think
plot
this.
magical darkness.
I don't think they'd either need something to make the darkness. They would need
when it boils
would
down
likely
to it,
be a
it's
powerful spellcaster.
it's either a powerful spellcaster
Or
or a
that
very
we hit.
specific item.
Yeah, item, power,
Because the only
power.
so it was a decently powerful spellcaster, but not too powerful. Otherwise, that probably would have been maddening darkness, and we'd all be dead.
Yeah. So there has to be something that did the injection, which means the object that did it has to still be in this room, or the person still has it on them, likely. So that's a line of thought we can get, is just to go find that object. Now, fuck if we know exactly what did it, we can't really easily recreate such a thin material to then like backtrace, but maybe one of our artificers could take a look at the wound and maybe guess what it could be made from.
So, looking at the injury on the neck.
Mm-hmm.
So, that's 1 second. Oh, I need to go to
Wait,
the bathroom.
Then I'll just talk to Tori. The wound. If it's an arterial bleed, there's blood everywhere because holy shit, an arterial bleed bleeds a lot. I'm not even joking. As an EMT, so fuck. Probably Ulvin has blood on him at this point. He's just
I'm
10
not
feet
arguing
away.
with you.
The problem is, because the knife is removed, or whatever weapon. I'm not gonna make any assumptions on what the weapon is, because the blade was removed, or whatever. An arterial bleed, because you perforated the lungs. The whoever did it would have blood on them, definitively from an arterial bleed, which means that I messaged you as well. I didn't know if you saw it, about wanting to know every character that was nearby the little table that we're at, because I'm gonna be looking at everyone there, even though I know that the people left. I'm going to see who has blood on them, because they likely everyone at the table got at least some blood on them. And then I want to look at the people who are over here that might have blood on them, because
I mean, the statements you were making are not factually wrong.
They're not factually wrong in our world.
In our world.
Our world. As someone who has studied this and watched so many things, it was like,
and the information that you were sharing is
potential.
Is possibly correct. And I don't want to say any more.
Here's the problem.
I don't know. Conjecture.
Here's the problem. That's all conjecture. The problem is, Ulvin's like, this is me knowing all I know from Sherlock and all that I know from everything, and I'm not playing my Sherlock character, so I can't have that knowledge. That's my knowledge.
Biggest person.
EMT knowledge combined with
the biggest person on anatomical and medical knowledge is unironically Snuggo.
Yeah. Or if I want to just randomly give tidbits of information, Laptican, but Laptican has like a random knowledge thing, so I don't know.
Yeah.
So the stuff about the neck wound
saying is not wrong, and there's a reason things are not lining up. I will say that much out of
Wait, oh fuck, God, why I hate magic, fuck. I hate magic so much.
Or
I believe you wanted to investigate a pinprick,
yes, the pinprick.
Yes.
And also the massive crackling of chips, apparently.
That is a strange noise. Definitely sus.
I also hate it.
Oh no, it was Snowgo. He killed him with chips.
How dare you?
Oh, wait, hold on. I'm gonna go get...
Snowgo was ejected.
Man, I gave you guys a potty break.
No, it's I was preparing nacho cheese dip in that time.
That's fair. Alright. I'm gonna wait for John to get back before we look into the pin.
Into his neck.
So while that's going on, Corin is going to ask the head chef, is like, so what are the magic, like telepathically, what are the magic items that your wait staff have?
Excuse me. He states that Zind, the kobold, has a platter that allows him to carry heavier stuff. That's like a gravity. It's a gravity altering spell that makes it to where it's lighter when it's full. And then you are told that Cynic the Goblin has a item that'll like I explained earlier. If you want if you want Parmesan, it'll crank out Parmesan. If you want black pepper, it'll crank out black pepper.
The condiment grinder.
It's the condiment dispenser. It's magically dispenses any condiment.
Like the alchemy jug.
Yep.
Okay.
Imagine a waiter walk up, just like, hey, can I have some ketchup? Sure. Starts rotating the wheel like a grinder. Ketchup starts coming out.
Starts pouring. That's exactly what happens.
Alright, so,
he says that both of the chefs have magical Swiss Army knives of kitchen work. They can be like it could be a spoon, it could be a knife, it could be a.
Hey, how long is the blade on the knife?
Well, it's currently a spoon, and the other one currently has a set of tongs.
Yes, but how long is the blade of the knife?
Well, I believe we're only telepathically talking to them currently.
Okay, so Corn, it's like, so when Corn is talking to someone else with his telepathy, does the telepathic bond relay into everything?
Everybody can hear like Corin's at the very least Corin's side of his conversation.
Yeah, so we can hear what they're saying, but we can't speak to them through Corin.
Mm-hmm.
Only Corin can speak to them, but we can hear them. I think that's what it is. Mm-hmm. Okay. Nick?
Yeah, so Corin is going to go and ask them, it's like, what are the different knives that you have in your multi-tools?
It can be a chef's knife, a paring knife, a skinning knife, it could be a fillet knife, and he just starts listing off all these different knife names. You work in kitchens, you know most of them, Nick.
Okay.
He just lists off pretty much the most common and most useful utility knives that you would use in a kitchen in general.
Okay, so Corin is going to
There's a steak knife.
yeah, so after getting that list, Corin is going to text Nogo images of. Wait. No, because Corin doesn't have images of these. I do.
Yeah, Nick has images. Corin doesn't.
Yeah.
Snogo after hearing the number of potential knives.
Oh no.
Affliction, knives.
And George doesn't have much inflection in his voice. It's pretty monotone voice, so.
Corin starts drifting down a little bit from his flying as the list is going on. And after he's done, Corin kind of just goes back to the original height. It's like, okay. Alright. So Corin goes to the group and asks, it's like, okay, so we can continue this investigation, but if it becomes imperative, if we're just letting you guys know that if we run out of options, I think I can figure out who it is, but it will take a lot out of me.
She looks a little concerned. She's like, "You're not gonna be a battery again, are you?"
It's like, no, it's something that I. You know those books where it's like people can do crazy, absolutely crazy things with magic.
Mm-hmm.
I think I can do that now.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, like wishes.
Yeah, okay. Like that ring. That she was not there for, so she doesn't know about the ring. Never mind. Serena's like, oh, like that ring, because you're having a conversation across the table.
Oh, this is all telepathic,
Oh, okay.
so everyone
Okay.
is hearing this.
So, I guess we'll go on with the prick.
Okay, yeah. So upon closer investigation, please roll me an investigation roll.
Alrighty.
Woof. Yep. Close investigation. It looks like it was a sort of syringe or needle or something, and there is a small bubble of liquid along with some blood trailing down now.
Bubble of liquid.
Yep, there's a little bubble of liquid that has discolored the skin, as well as a drip of blood that has followed it down.
Okay, 1 second. Let me check something.
Shit, Snogo would actually be the one able to identify the chemical.
Yeah. What kind of... Here we go, alchemist. Are you fucking kidding me? Alchemists don't know this spell. A moment. Let me see. Wow. Alchemists cannot detect poison and disease.
That's really fucking weird.
Anyways, he's going to just... He's going to try and just get the liquid to take vial, press to, and voila.
Okay. While Snogo is playing with vials, does anybody else want to do anything? Do we want to investigate the big table, or grill the smaller tables across the room?
So it's Snogo is going to make mention that that he was injected with a needle, because like I guess I'll start looking around, and just gonna start rummaging through everything while usually keeping everything that she comes across in place, checking under tables, on people's plates, on 1 second. Checking people's plates, their areas, checking people.
So Solomon has had his imp invisibly flying around the room, taking trying to get a read on everyone in the room.
Okay. The imp knows that these were all pretty invested in what they were doing, at the very least. I assume he was wandering around during the dinner as well, because Solomon's a bit of a paranoid guy.
Mm-hmm.
These guys were all very invested in what they were doing at their table. And,
Okay.
If you want races and whatnot of anybody, let me know. But otherwise, I'll
No, it's like
as this until that information becomes necessary.
yeah. So right now, Solomon is just trying to, while this part of the investigation is going on, he's just communicating with his imp, trying to compile.
These three, including Sylvia, were gossiping about some different things. And then, what is this table doing? This table You're not quite too sure what they were doing. They didn't seem that that important to the imp earlier. Calypso, with your special owl eyes, this table, you walk over and this table's got like some dice on the table. They've got some paper strewn about. There's some little figurines and a big mat.
What kind of dice?
Oh, there are various, many-sided dice. There's few-sided dice. There's many-sided dice. This guy here, he says...
I'm adding a d6 to inventory.
This guy here, his name is Peter. He is kind of griping and wishes the murder wouldn't have happened so they could go back to playing moms in minivans. That seems to be the general consensus at the table, like, god damn it, this guy inconveniently got murdered, and now we can't play moms in minivans. They're all humans, and there is one bugbear sitting at the table.
Probably sitting the farthest away because long arms.
Yeah, he was at the head of the table. He had a little divider up in between him and everybody else at the table, and was hiding stuff from them.
So everybody seems
suspicious.
preoccupied.
Yeah.
He was probably fudging rolls.
How dare he?
So they seem for the most part not of great. So the most we have on them is this one, and he just messy eater.
Yeah. These guys can't do magic. The rest of everybody else we haven't really looked too terribly much into, but they seem very inconvenienced by the murder, so it doesn't look like much motive. The guy sitting closest to Calypso, he says his name is Michael. He's like, can we just... He kind of starts trying to continue playing even though there's an investigation going.
I'm adding another d6 to inventory.
Alright. You can have a point to inspiration for insisting on continuing your game.
Alright. Let's see. Wait a second.
So
Michael, Peter, John, Caesar, Nick.
What? I don't know what you're talking about.
I was about to go and ask what was this person's name.
It's you know, kind of name, you know, just regular old human name. Let's say it's starts with an N. Nick. That seems like a pretty general human name.
Okay.
Pretty common one, I think.
Yeah.
You're back.
Yes.
Nice.
So Corn is going to ask Thomas, like, okay, so did your second have any issues with any of the people in this room? Was there any like disciplinary actions that were taken before, or personal relationships?
I mean, I don't know. Maybe. I mean, he didn't quite get along with Humidol, and points over at H down here, and there was some tenseness with him and the ladies. Not to speak ill of the dead, but I don't think he was a very Not sensitive, not discreet, insensitive? I don't...
Insensitive lover.
He flirted. He was a shameless flirt. And couldn't always get a hint on when flirting was not wanted. So he wasn't very popular with the ladies.
Ah, a douche.
Mm-hmm.
Alright. That was good. So, what does Snogo's analysis tell?
His analysis with a 22. I'm actually going to message that to you.
Okay.
It seems like this is not a man-made compound.
So it's magically made?
Not what I said.
Natural. Poison with the blood. Oh, that's a vicious way to go. Let's coagulate you to death. Okay.
Looking at that with your investigation earlier, now that you know what was put into him.
How much blood is there?
Down his neck, there was just maybe one drop that kind of slid its way down.
No, but from the stab wound.
From the stab wound? Less than you would expect from an arterial stab wound, as was being pointed out earlier.
Okay.
Would you
so
say
there was not
about a liter's worth that's missing?
It was not coincidence that he was struck twice. He was clotted.
Possibly. Or they took blood from him.
It was a paralytic and poison with a blood clotting agent. He was clotting when he was stabbed, which is why there isn't as much blood. So Snow is going to look over. He's like, is there anyone that has a hobby, interest, or occupation involving nature or botany?
Everybody kind of looks around. Nobody really raises their hands.
No shit.
Maybe
second.
Maybe a different sort of. Nobody wants to own up to it because you're
asking so openly.
Yeah.
Do I know anyone in the compound?
Yeah, let's say.
I mean, technically Ulvin does, but
let's say Kay down here definitely has worked with plants. I will make her green.
Okay.
Green.
All right. So I'll nod to. I'll look to her.
This lizard folk over here also works with plant.
Okay.
The one that starts with GR is green.
Actually, he's red.
We killed that one.
Do I know these two at all?
I would like to make an explanation real quick. This is our lizard folk. He is green and his name is Red. This is another lizard folk who is red and is named Green.
Get
you may
fucked.
continue.
Do I know either of those two? Ulvin, does Ulvin know those two?
Yeah. Coco is a Earth Genasi. She tills the land. She tries to keep the land for growing stuff as fertile as possible, and Green helps her over there and has quite the green thumb and just really has a knack with plants. One might say he was a druid.
Do I know of any plant that would cause paralytic? Be a paralytic substance.
I would like a history check.
History, not nature or strength.
I guess you can do a nature. Sorry.
I'm also shit at these, but sure.
Nature.
Okay.
All right.
Nature 19.
Yeah, there's definitely a couple that have paralytic properties, like all those plants that have paralytic properties that I'm not making up fantasy names from that were created by radiation by mutant plants.
That's been great. All right. So are we? Is everyone in
Is
place?
any of them available? Or never mind.
Okay. Snowgo. I'm guessing Snowgo's making that check.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'll share that information with them, but I'll either want to go over there to ask them personally if they have any information, or I'll check them over to make sure to see if they have anything on them.
Okay. Ulvin was specifically thinking about plants. Snowgo was thinking about poisons, I'm guessing.
Yeah, it's, naturally created poisons that would induce this effect that are plausible for this area.
Some plants do come to mind, but you're thinking more of lizards, snakes,
Venom,
spiders, stuff like that. Spiders seem a bit more at the top of that list, but everything else is also completely likely.
Yeah.
It seems like the calculating it out, the amount of venom that you would need to kill this man seems like a little too much to have been gotten from a spider.
What race is on this too?
We have a dwarf and a human.
And Corn relays that
Laura, there's
bad blood between Humod and dead guy.
Yeah, so Len goes over, gives him a sniff snuff, a little lick flick,
blah, blah.
a little blah blah. She thinks back, yeah, he's human. The other one's just a plain old hill dwarf.
Okay.
She then kind of signals she over to hold the door, and Lynn goes around and blahs everybody.
And before the Michael Maze shows up as
Huh?
And before Michael shows up as Yanti.
Alright, yeah, no, he can be Yanti. I'm gonna say he would have known about her recent succession to the throne, given her a little bow or whatever. The sort of info goes quick.
Will not.
Yeah. Sylvia does the same, and she gives a little bow, a little nod as Lynn walks by doing the check. And everybody else is human except for her and Michael.
Okay. Is there only one? Frick?
Yep, there's one. And it doesn't quite look to be like a fang-sized. It seems far too fine and small for that. Warn me.
Let's see.
My apologies. This J would have been at this table.
Oh. They're obviously the mayor.
No, he just isn't in the D&D group.
Oh.
Sorry,
He
the,
was-
the M&M group.
Alright. So, these are the cooks. Sylvia.
These are the cooks. These are the runners. There's Sylvia.
Oh, these are cooks, runners.
Yeah.
So they worked with plants, but otherwise I forget what is so this mundane what race?
He's a half elf. His name is
Oh.
Dave.
Hi, Dave. Also, so Calypso's been looking around as well.
Mhm.
Does she? One moment. She had 24 in perception, specifically looking for after Snogo makes notice syringe
Yeah. The
or needle.
I'm going to add another letter. I'll say she was at the girls' table. What was her name? Does anybody remember what the nurse's name was?
No.
It was Patricia.
It's been 3 weeks.
It's been more than 3 weeks. Let's say Patricia is the nurse's name, and she was sitting at the table with the girls.
Okay.
She had some syringes on her, but she's also a nurse. One of them.
Do any of them look used?
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like,
Yep.
it's like I'm a nurse. I just have syringes. Yeah, but
Cool.
you shouldn't be using them.
Why are they on you now?
One of them is actually recently used. And Calypso pulls it out of her pocket sneakily or whatever. Does she make a scene as soon as she pulls it out of her pocket, or does she hold on to the used syringe after rifling through pockets?
It's
Rifle
just
successful.
it's just gonna look through. It says she's going to mention telepathically. Like, one of these syringes looks used. It's on Patricia. Wait, no, it doesn't know her name. On nurse.
On a nurse.
On the nice nurse lady.
I don't know if detect poisons is a thing.
Detect poison is a thing, but it is only usable by clerics, druids, paladins, and rangers.
Cool.
Oh yeah, Lampodia rules.
No, yep, we can use Lampodia rules if you have the slots.
I mean, I have saw what level of spell is it?
It is a first level spell.
I'll cast it.
Lampodia rules are you pick out your spells as you need them. You've always had them, and you totally prepared that specific spell that day. If you just hadn't picked a spell for that yet.
Because choices are hard.
Yep.
Yep.
And it lets us have a little bit more utility instead of making a 5th level character on the very first day of your game and then being stuck with those spells for the rest of your life. You get to decide them as you go, at least.
Yeah.
Who would just drop someone in at like 17 level?
Alright, so,
I would cast it.
Alright.
Within
there-
30 feet, and I'm assuming he walks around the room.
Yeah, I'm guessing you walk down. Hey!
This
got
man is full of
syringes.
poison.
She hands it over. Calypso gives it
Poison.
over after confiscating it. Whatever.
Syringe. Poison.
There are two
Lots of
substances in it.
poison.
Closer down to the bottom of the syringe, there's a poisonous substance, but at the top of the syringe, there is not.
Okay.
It seems like reusing syringes is not unfamiliar to this woman. In fact, there is some sort of residue on almost all of her little syringes that she has in her nurse.
Oh no.
Fucking horrible. Oh my god.
Maybe you could assume she was going to sterilize them in the kitchen after dinner or something like that. Roll an insight.
Okay.
Okay, regardless of who it is, we are also going to.
Ew.
Yeah, the intention was to sterilize them after dinner. That's why she
Uh-huh.
brought them over. What color did you want her changed to red? Do you want her
What
to
is
be
red being?
sus
What is
color?
red? Possibly.
So do a like deep purple, like first
I want to
and
ask
all,
her if anyone's ever-
Orange.
orange. Oh yeah, orange.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
this specifically what would be considered poisonous?
Well.
And
many things.
don't hit me with the medicine is just poison in lesser doses.
I wasn't gonna
Matt
say
did-
that. I was
Detect
going
poison
to say
and
that enough
disease.
of anything could be a poison.
No. You sense the presence of location of poison, poisonous creatures, and diseases. You can identify the kind of poison.
I know. I was just gonna be cheeky.
Mhm.
This is a
-1
magical effect.
inspiration.
No, this is a magical effect with magical intent.
Yeah. It's intent based.
She, first of all, she swears that she hasn't used it for any poison, and that she was bumped into while the lights were out. But the poison in it is something that seems that fits in with the symptoms that Snogo concluded the poison would cause.
All right. So I'm
Is she
inciting on
being
her
truthful?
just to make certain.
Yes, no, somebody did bump her, and she has not used her syringes for any sort of poison recently.
Or self-indulgence. Good. Okay.
Deep green.
Self-indulgence.
Deep green, alright.
So deep
Hey,
is.
I'm not
Are we
ruling anything
doing?
out.
Oh, not ruling her out, we'll leave her as orange.
She's being full. What?
No, he's not ruling out needles being reused and self-indulgence.
No, I was making a joke saying that maybe she was
Yeah.
using them for herself
Mm.
as a joke.
Okay, so
Oh god.
do we want her a dark green still?
Green because I was able to
Deep
suss
green.
out that
Yeah,
she was
deep
telling the
green
truth.
is clear.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not quite deep. That's kind of.
I will ask my two compatriots if they know of any. Well, first of all, do we know what the thing has, what poison or what thing was on it? It
So
tells us.
it was probably venom from a snake. Or wait, actually no. The spell actually specifies exactly what kind of poison.
Okay, since I'm casting it, can I know what it is?
Give me a second. I was gonna mark down. Actually, Michael, do you want to break down the poison information, the new information so far?
Yes.
You
Let me
have been-
copy paste.
And if needs be, I will also go back over to the body and then also recast the spell again, just to make certain that it's the same poison
Yeah.
on the body.
It's up for 10 minutes. You're
The
Oh,
poison in
whatever.
in the syringe and the poison in the body match. It does seem to be from an animal.
Animal origins.
Or
What kind? Like, you just not want to make up a name for it?
No, it's. I'm trying not to give away too terribly much about it, but I suppose this would be the time when I do give it away. I guess I'm being stingy with info. So this is a concoction of a couple of different poisons. At the end of the day, it's the blood clotting and poison is from a snake or a lizard. I don't know if it would make the distinction. It is from a reptile.
Yeah, it's all settled for that.
And or the clotting and the paralytic is from a reptile, and the poison is from a plant source.
Mm-hmm.
It is a concoction of things. Like Snogo's made a concoction of things before. He probably understands.
Since I had
the
this for 10
intricacies.
minutes, I'm going to, as I walked over to here to get it,
Mhm.
walk all the way back. I'm doing a small patrol across the room. Do I sense the poison anywhere else in this room?
Plants and the animals.
Yeah, they would have had some on them. You're able to see traces coming to and fro from the kitchen.
I see traces coming from the kitchen.
Yeah, there are traces coming from the kitchen, and there are traces at the nurse's table, as well as at the murder site. There are traces. So
it looks as if the poison was applied at the nurse's table.
There was a little bit here, there was a little bit here, and there was some coming from one of the kitchen doors. I don't care which. It doesn't matter which.
We need to have a look in the kitchen to see where it might have come from. Yes, we know that the poison was brought in, applied, brought over, stabbed, away.
Mm-hmm.
Relatively. And loose.
Okay, so Corn is going to go over.
Let's say it came in from this door.
Oh. So it's going out then?
It went. The traces of the poison come through this door. Oop, I took that up too far. Over to next to the nurse, and then jumped over here. And that's how far you can trace it so far, at least.
So Corn's going to go over to Zeed
Mm-hmm.
and identify the platter.
Yeah.
Looking specifically if the platter has any properties similar to the levitate spell. But identify will give
you the exact
the exact stat block of the spell.
Yeah. So this is a gravity-based spell. It's less so about levitation, more about it's like a reduced gravity is set on the platter for how much it weighs, essentially.
Okay, so it's completely impossible for the platter to float in the air.
Yeah, it wouldn't float.
Okay.
It is just permanently charmed to be lighter than it should be.
Okay.
Imagine a kobold with a platter. Throws it right next to you, jumps on the platter, stabs you in the chest.
Oh. Alright. I will, as I'm walking around, I will hug the edge over here, just since if anyone went outside.
Okay.
You said that the door's over here, or wherever the fuck, I don't know.
Yeah,
And so...
there's a door slightly underneath this blood here. that the blood covered up. And,
Oh, sorry, 1 second. Yep. Oh no! Accidentally deleted Snuggo.
oh no! That's super unfortunate.
Hey, that's one less character to manage.
I like all my characters.
Like, okay. Anywho, the door was in fact opened. And somebody at some point went through it. You don't know if they carried poison or not, but you are able to see that the door was recently opened. It's not a very used door. And,
Wait, how recently?
Like, if you open it up and take a peek outside, there is a like dust that was pushed, like a little bit of dirt that was pushed by the door opening.
Do I see any tracks?
Yeah, you see a track going out this way, and then
Oh boy!
once it gets to the side of the building, it's to cobblestone, and you don't really get tracks anymore.
I swear if they ran off. Oh boy. So it seemed.
To interject real quick, am I doing a good job so far? Is this interesting, or do?
No, it's I'm genuinely intrigued.
Okay. Because I am also learning who did it, as you guys are.
All right, so well then, if you're learning as we are, she obviously.
It was the baker.
There is
There's
no
baker. There's a prep cook and a head cook.
Wait, no, there is a baker.
Oh, she's talking about. So what? She's made some cookies.
She's a baker in two senses of the term.
Oh my god.
Hey, that is medicinal. That is for reducing murderous intent, as you all know.
All right.
Also, it's not illegal in this world, so.
It's not illegal. Oh god.
Okay, so basically vindicated. So she's, but we know that her syringes were used to facilitate it. They may have already escaped.
So Corn flies over to
That's
Red.
going to be the thing that puts this entire thing on its head.
Corn messages Red's like, hey, can you do that tracking thing to see if there's any humanoids running away from here?
In fact, let's see.
Like primeval awareness or whatever it's called.
Yep, 1 second. Which your favorite enemies are present, their numbers, and general direction. For 1 minute. General direction. I know that we're in a base, so it's gonna ping a lot of things.
Yep.
Yeah. There's a lot of movement, but you don't sense any rushed. Oh shit! Gotta get GTFO movement.
It's red.
There's general milling about doing their work. Red, I'm assuming, has used primeval awareness before just to hang out around the facility. It's about the same amount of movement as there has been before.
If they know what they're doing, it's just lock down the base.
All right. You can definitely tell big guy to request the base be locked down.
Just be on watch. Make sure that nobody departs.
All right. So he knocks on the door and he gives orders out to one of the guards who was outside.
Hopefully they didn't. I'm really hoping they didn't. 1 second, actually.
The Corn goes over to one of the guards and telepathically asks, hey, so about 20 minutes ago, did you see anybody run out of the building here?
The guard kind of looks at you and is like, I was inside until you guys told me to make sure nobody else came or left.
Okay.
Yeah, fuck you guys. Not gonna be that easy.
You think you may be smart in cutting us off. That what else do we have to work with, Tori? What the fuck else do we have to work with?
I'm currently looking through all druid and ranger spells.
Okay, so Corn
That
goes.
was the only control of this. This is the only control, and this fucks up the entire formula.
One of them does say that there are, oh, okay, I'll fix it for you guys. There are reports of a door opening and closing down here.
Oh, they must have repositioned.
Okay, so
That's what I
Corn.
was hoping for initially. Good.
That is indeed what happened.
Okay.
They
So Corn-
wanted an alibi.
Corn goes over to this table and telepathically asks everyone to show them at this table to show them the bottoms of his boots.
The nurse kind of picks up her feet, and she's wearing nicer shoes. She's got like flats on. Doesn't really look like the shoe prints in the dirt over there. Excuse me. Coco here has some work boots on. They're covered top to bottom in mud.
Oh my god.
And some dust, and Dave has some dust on his shoes.
Okay.
Does the mud look recent, or is it just like been there for a long time because work?
Both. These shoes never quite get clean, and she works every day, so.
Okay, so
Is
Corn
it just
telepathically asks Thomas, "What's the weather been like the past few days?"
It's been sunny most of the time. This is like.
Well, also they're working in agricultural, so water is going to be prevalent.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, but what? So when you mean dust, is it different from the dust outside? So is this? I know it's not a very commonly used area.
Yeah.
The dust that would be coming from here is a lot more different than dirt dust and like sand dust and all that.
That is a valid observation, and it is a true observation. The dust over here looks to be a bit more like a clay dust. Like California has a lot of clay deposits, so a red clay that's mostly here and doesn't have much dirt on top of it, and then over here is more your average dirt and debris kind of dust. And
well, it's more or less asking
this is
if
red.
Okay. So what do they usually work in for soils?
Yeah, the two gardeners, Green and Coco here, they do work in a little bit of the clay in the area, to your knowledge. That's usually during planting season when they have to re-till up the unused plot or whatever to.
Okay. I realized that I asked the wrong thing.
Cycle.
No, I realized that's the wrong thing. So, does anyone else who isn't supposed to have that on their shoes have that?
Yeah, Dave has some red dust on his boots, and the dwarf has
glowing
some red
eyes
dust on his
meme.
boots.
So these two?
Yeah.
What about them?
They're actually quite clean. There is some soot on them, but there's not dirt and dust.
Hey, you don't want to bring muddy boots to walk into a kitchen.
Yeah, Calypso's been in the kitchen. This is a clay fireplace sort of situation. It's a big bonfire in a clay oven.
Okay, so is the floor clean in here?
Yeah, it's clean. Around the oven, there's some soot that's
discount
managed its way out. Yeah.
Because that would have been tracked.
Yeah.
Alright, and so is there... I take it that there's red dust around this area of the room.
No, actually, there's the only people with red dust on them is Dave and Arden.
Yes, but is there like traces of red dust on the floor?
No, it's
That's what I'm asking. Because red dust getting on the shoes, people walk across the floor,
this
leave
would
traces of
be-
it behind.
Over here would be more like the normal gray road dust.
Okay.
Gray dirt dust, not red clay dust.
Okay.
That would
So
just be
see-
from people coming in and sitting down at the table. Is that kind of dust? The
Okay, so
clay
does she
is-
have any on her?
Who?
Sylvia.
Sylvia? I actually don't know what Sylvia does. I was just having her kind of be a gossip. I'm gonna say she does not.
Okay. Do we do orange instead?
Okay.
What's a it's like consensus for on the party.
I think it was
Orange?
like deep red was like suspicious, and then it goes less red, more to like yellowish orange, and then it goes like all the way down to like green, which was the you're
And
good.
yeah, this is lowest. It's like potential but lowest concern.
Mm. And the brown means non-magic user.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah, so I think we
Pink
can
is-
discount SS.
Okay.
Green.
Green? Alright.
Just
Yeah,
odd,
the-
but-
Green or regular green?
Deep green. Like Patricia. So this essentially like it's like absolute no suspect.
Is she still staying over at that table, or is she allowed to go back to her?
Oh, she can go.
Okay.
So,
Wait. It's
What?
Red will actually ask one last thing.
Hmm.
Did you feel anyone feel anyone walk past you when it was dark? Or move?
Kind of thinks back, and she's like, I think I did. I'm not sure. Patricia
Anyone
was being
from your
kind of
table?
noisy when the light went out, and she was squealing.
Oh.
She's not willing to say that definitely nobody passed by her or walked behind her, but she's not willing to say that definitely somebody did.
Okay.
She's not
All right.
sure.
So
I can neither confirm nor deny.
So Dirty Boots discounted fully because again the
well,
the path of the
K and GR. But D and A have the red dust on their boots, so they're sus. And also, H is also sus too because H did not get along well with second.
Okay. I'll make H
Okay.
yellow for just conflict.
All right, and these guys don't have pristine boots,
Yeah, they
more or less.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah,
so
they've got
discount-
kitchen dust.
kitchen. All right, so discounted them.
Okay.
What about these two? Wait, no, it's
Sorry, go
good.
ahead. These two are relatively clean. Also, there's some spilled food on them, but
Yeah,
there's no
specifically
dust.
looking at the boot.
Yeah.
Boot. Ow. Okay.
And Corin is just going to do a quick, try and get a vibe for tabletop.
Table takes things. That would be this table, I suppose.
No, tabletop gaming. Moms and minivans.
Yeah, they're playing minivans.
Yes, just so that he can see if they're just inside check for like if they are just if any of them looked shifty to Corin.
Nick seems kind of sus. No, they're I'm gonna tell you guys right now, they're meme characters. They're just
Yeah,
comedic
I
relief.
assume so.
Yeah, but Corn
Yeah.
needs to. He's working on the process of just like eliminating suspects.
Yeah, they don't seem suspicious.
Like with
Corin
a gun.
notices they're getting like more and more irritated that this is cutting it, about how much this is cutting into their time.
Are they actively saying anything, or are they just?
They're just like getting a little bit more
They're-
restless. They're
It's like, well, it's restless but polite. It's like,
a guy died, but like we were kind of in the middle of a boss fight, and we would like to go back to that. Karen did this thing at the bake sale. You wouldn't even believe it, and we just really need to get back to this bake sale.
the
right now.
Karen boss fight.
Wolverine will like
So
he'll like look over and like he'll have this face, and then
Corn
in
is gonna
mind, he'll be
like telepathically
"What?
message one of these people.
Fuck?"
He's like, so you guys are rebel soldiers trying to face the government to stop the trials or whatever. And you guys are, and your second in command has been killed in the same room as you, and you're more concerned about this insignificant game that you guys are playing right now.
The bugbear actually speaks up, and he's kind of like, well, this is actually a history lesson. This is the playing this game is the only way to get kids these days interested in the history of our past, and
Yeah, and are the people at this table children?
It's like it's Michael from the table is like, really? That's the best you could come up with?
That's the fucking best. I could have come up with something better, you idiot.
They're younger. They're not necessarily children, but they're not adults. Legally,
Okay,
they
still
can be considered
One
an
of them,
adult,
one
but-
of them's
So-
probably like 22 years old, coming to 23.
Yeah, around there. Freshly 22, you know.
All right. So what about Jay? It's because I know they were misplaced.
Yeah, Jay was
But-
misplaced. Go ahead. I want to know what you want to know about him before I just tell you stuff.
Well, so 1 second. So let's see. Which ones had blood on them, by the way?
Oh my, that was so long ago.
Basically the white staff.
Yeah.
Well, the ones that were suspicious that had blood.
H
Wait, no, I think that
and
that amounted to
P
basically
had
nothing.
jam or sauce on them.
So H is the one that had blood, right?
Yeah, he had,
Sauce.
Sauce on him. B had
Sauce.
some jam.
D. Okay, so blood is nothing.
Yeah.
Blood means nothing.
There was no blood on these guys. The only people who had blood on them was kitchen staff.
Okay, so what about Jay? Actually, Boots. What about Boots?
He got regular old dirt on his boots.
Okay. So, consensus, do we vet?
Okay, so Corin is going to look back at the footprints.
Outside, look at the tread, try to memorize the tread pattern there.
Yeah, the tread pattern seems like it would be awfully small for not a giant, the word.
Goliath.
Goliath. They seem awfully small for the feet of a Goliath.
I'm also.
Okay.
It's also.
So now Corin is going to look at the. Is going to go over to a dwarf and ask to see the soles of his boots.
Yeah, those boots are,
Oh no, they're commonly issued boots, aren't they?
yeah.
Yes, but how about sizing though? Is the size of the footprint comparable to the size of the dwarf's foot?
I believe dwarf have feet about the size of humans, even though they're small folk. So
More or less just stout people.
yeah, maybe his boots are probably a little bit too big for those prints, actually. And if you look at his boots, there is some coal and mining dust on his boots. That is a feature, I suppose.
Uh-oh. Oh, no. She's searching for a talisman, any kind of connection or sign of pact on this man.
On Dave?
Yes.
On the poor half-elf Dave?
Anything. Any symbol, anything symbolic,
He's got
any...
some literature on him.
What kind?
The main government kind. The kind that talks about how great the trials is and how it's a necessary thing to keep magic in our society.
Is that like a thing that's
Is he specifically trying to look for signs of a warlock?
I don't know, is he a warlock? Actually, no, he doesn't have any magical ability.
Oh yeah, that's right. He's reportedly mundane.
So Corin is not going to go look at Dave's boots.
Can I get a...
Wait, no, we discounted A, didn't we?
Yeah.
Yes, we discounted A, so now we're
Fuck.
Now we're going to talk... Now Corin is looking at Dave's boot, because Dave was the only other person that had red dust on his shoes.
There's a lot of people gathering around Dave. Give me an insight check.
Who? All of us?
Corin, Calypso, and maybe Solomon could make one.
Only.
Nope. Calypso, this looks like regular old humanoid behaviors.
Wait,
he's
no,
moving,
it's...
he's talking.
Is he...
Alright, come on, Solomon.
Is he not his true form?
No, this is his true form. You would have known earlier.
Okay.
This was not.
Yeah, because
So Corin rolled a 12.
I'm just looking at your 3, and you're like, "Yep, this is a person."
No, it's because I heard like, yeah, this is a person. I was like, which side? And it's like, damn, he's still human.
So that 12 is enough to see that he's sweating a little. He's a little uncomfortable with how things have progressed. It seems, maybe. Whatever.
So, what does Calypso find anything, any particular magical item on, any kind of goggles, lens, anything to help see in dark, specifically magic dark?
That's really crazy, because you know what? He does have that sort of thing on.
Boom blade.
He also has a vial of liquid on him that was at the very deep down of his bag.
Corin is going to telepathically message Tom's like,
you know what? I'll chalk that up to.
Are there any
John?
clerics in the room?
You know what? I'll chalk that up to, John. Lead vial blocks readings.
What?
A lead vial. It's like, hey, it has poison on him. It's like, Dave didn't show up on detect poison earlier. Just contents were protected because thick vial.
There is also it looks kind of like a jewelry box in his bag.
Come on.
Yours?
Yes.
All right.
Grab. Open.
It gets dork.
Oh.
Oh fucking god!
It's like so the moment that it's shut. So she 1 second.
Wait.
She checks something right now. Moment here.
So something I just realized about Solomon.
It was extra
Oh, for
magical
fuck's sakes.
darkness.
You
It
just
says he can see through magical darkness, but this was extra magical. No,
The moment,
Okay, so-
this starts happening,
So
and
one
I
second,
see the
so-
open and all of a sudden dark. I am
It's-
moving immediately over here.
So no, it's actually the moment that she opens it and the room becomes dark. So, fun fact: Calypso is a 14th level rogue. Do you know what that means?
Hide.
Blind sense. She has blind sight essentially, and she goes and just goes to grab the guy's collar.
That's a good idea. That's a good idea. Grabbing him after you loot him.
It's Talon's. She doesn't
Light
care
goes
if she's drawing
off.
blood. Talons are
Corin
sinking
is
in.
All right.
going
Give
to.
me a. Nope. He's not even trying. He's been caught.
The moment it undoes, it's like
500 pounds of force
you have-
per square
you-
inch.
you now have not only her, but also Uva just suddenly teleports, and you sense it. You're like, and here's like, well, it's unfortunate.
So Dave is got some talons going into his shoulder, and he's like, pardon me. You all think it's such a horrible thing. We're doing this for you guys to make sure that you guys can keep this magical talent in you and
my
make sure
God.
it stays strong. And you guys are just gonna throw this away, and you're gonna waste all
It's-
of our hard work. And
Corin
you're
says,
gonna keep
"Calypso,
yelling
shut the
and tell
box."
Somebody.
It's the box is the one that is being that projected the darkness, and also it's she's going to hex him on charisma checks.
Okay.
So now he's stumbling over his words, essentially like trying to persuade. Like it's like this is all personal. And
Wait, Laptikin,
His
what do you
speech
have to
gets
help?
a little less passionate as it starts getting an awkward speech, but he's still trying his darndest until he is silenced. He's still spouting this information that he feels he needs to share with the group.
so
Corin says, "Calypso, shut the box."
no, no, the box is closed.
Oh, okay.
The box has been closed.
Well
Yeah,
then,
it's like she opened it and then she closed it immediately and grabbed
Okay.
onto him when that happened.
all right. So Corin,
Oh,
Alright.
it's just
she's also gonna pluck the goggles off.
Alright.
Corin's just going to lift him up into the air.
I wanted to read his mind, but okay.
No, it's like he's not hurting him yet.
Oh yeah, I just want to read his mind. I want to get information out of him.
Alright, so you.
Calypso.
Corin shouts over to Thomas and says, "We found him."
Calypso thinks to herself,
I'll think. We found one. There could be more, and Leuven will keep looking around.
Solomon is going to, after this all does, he's going to do a quick scan across the entire room to see if anyone else looks worried.
React to this.
Tabletop group is griping a little
Horrified.
less about their game being interrupted as this is actually
Solomon is not very insightful at all.
Calypso will do the insight.
What does this tell me?
Oh, sorry. Alright. I completely lost my thought process.
So it's checking around the room to make
Yeah.
sure that
See if there's a possible accomplice in the room here.
With an insight of 22. Okay. The human over here, H, is kind of has an odd look about him, and so does
Odd how?
give me a second. So does Z. Z has a bit of an uncomfortable look to him. They both look a little uncomfortable with how things have progressed.
They're uncomfortable with just this new realization that they think their old friend is now evil, or they think they look uncomfortable as in that things have been found out.
Is Calypso able to tell that it's so? Because Calypso has been
Calypso's been
honor among thieves kind of thing. Like, oh shit, things are going sideways. Or the, oh, I couldn't believe that he actually did that. Is it the, oh shit, things are going sideways kind of look?
H kind of has that, shit. Fuck, look. Z is a bit more like, oh my gosh. And everybody's just like, okay,
what the fuck's going on?
He was not the most
all right.
support of our cause, but we thought he was better than this.
So it's one sec. So
does Calypso relay this information to the group?
It's first thing. What's the name of this one?
Coco.
Hey Coco, can you duck for me?
Yeah. It's down.
What's the name of this one again?
Himoto.
Himoto. It's like, and Calypso will draw her 45 and aim it at him. It's like, hey guys, I think there's an accomplice. Hey Moto, don't move unless you like your arm off.
Corin looks over at Himoto and just throws Dave at him.
You're just beating up. Is that gonna be your MO now? Beating up the enemy with
the enemy? I mean, that's just the way you do things now. I am going to.
No, I mean it's just what makes sense in this. It's just what makes sense in the moment
Dave
here.
Dave has been thrown at H.
H, yes.
Alright.
I want to ask you, Tori, because Ulvin wants to cast. Not Ulvin. Fuck. Laptican wants to cast a spell. Does Dominate Person work in the way that I can just start ordering them to tell me shit?
Can you put it in chat so I can read it real quick?
Sure.
So what is it? So here's the funniest, most amazing thing about Dominate Person. So you can command them as part of the spell, but it also charms them.
Yeah.
Now, as part of the charm condition, cannot attack the charmer or target the charm with harmful abilities or magical effects.
God damn it!
And the charmer has advantage on any ability check to interact socially with the creature. AKA, when charmed by something else, the charmed creature perceives no ill intent from the charmer. As in the,
so
hey,
you're just a friend.
Yeah, it's like, hey, you're just a friend. Oh yeah, I'll definitely tell you.
Definitely an ally. All right, yeah, no, he'll talk if you do it.
All right, I'm gonna spend 2 survivors to make my disadvantage.
Okay. He gets a spell save DC.
So what's
cocked? That's a 7.
what they?
Oh,
okay, so,
great.
Okay.
He fails.
Yeah, no, he's super.
It's
fails.
it's what's the funniest thing though? That even if he got like 20, Calypso has luck points.
Luck only affects your own rolls.
No, it can. Wait, no.
Only if you're a halfling.
No, it's so. They
Like
affect your own rolls and rolls specifically against you.
All right, so Laptican will start walking up to Dave and start asking Dave questions.
Hey, Dave is gonna talk to you. What are these questions that you're asking him?
That's a very good question. And in my mind, I'll be continually talking to everyone else. What do we want to know? Everything? Just spill everything.
So
like,
first of all, how much do they know?
All right, I'll start leading him to a more secluded area.
Calypso's gonna.
Yeah, and Corin is going to now grab Humod
So, hey, can you
with
grab
telekinesis.
Can you grab him?
Just
I have
Corin
an
just
idea.
She
picks him up.
will sort everybody that has been absolutely cleared over to another area of the room, but still stand near them.
Jay is clear as well.
Lynn is actually going to interrupt over here and coil around Dave.
Yeah. By the way, I casted this as a 6th level spell, so it's 10 minutes.
Okay.
Nice. So so it's meanwhile as all this happens, it's Calypso like, so what are we gonna do with these guys afterwards?
That's not my problem.
Oh, are we bringing H in there?
Yes, I want H and I want Dave, but I'm talking to Dave.
Okay.
I'm using
Lynn-
Lepican is talking to Dave.
Corin message is like, hey Thomas, you may want to be in here for this.
Yeah, we'll bring
Oh yeah,
the head.
drag H along. So this one is just polite asking, interviewing.
Polite
We
asking.
can interrogate this one. Calypso's gonna
Okay.
walk over here.
In that case, Lynn will be around H.
Yeah.
Oh, H is. It's like Corin was picking up H with telekinesis and just floating him where they want him
my
to go.
gosh! Imagine being
Take him from your
restrained.
hands.
Imagine being restrained, and also grappled.
Oh yeah, I'm also making it so that Dave cannot see anything that's going on over here. I'll constantly
Yeah.
have him be looking at me.
Yeah.
So Dave.
In the meantime, so Calypso will pull out the rabbit hole and like throw it on the ground in front of Lynn. What does it open
Where
up
does
to?
it go?
What
Where
plane?
Does it go?
Which plane this
Where
time?
does it go? Let's roll.
Oh no, no,
die.
please, make it go to the Inferno Mines.
It could be it's negative energy plane, positive energy plane, any of the outer
Let's
planes.
say it opens up to the positive energy plane this time.
So it just looks at it, it's like 1 second. She picks it up, throws it down again.
Now it is it's onto the material plane, and it's roll a history check.
History.
You
Ow,
actually
Calypso!
recognize this as coincidentally being in the hallway from the dorms in the very beginning.
Picks it up quickly. Throws it down again.
Alright, this time it'll go to the Everwilds.
Okay, 1 second.
Oh.
She's like, come on, give me something scary. And he pulls it again, throws it down.
Alright, let's see. What's
So
the-
Corin is going to go and just give Humot a headache.
Alright.
Alright, 1 second. I can just send you Cosmic Wheel.
Yeah, I was gonna go ahead and let you pick this one.
Okay.
It's 5 throws. I can say it ends up where you wanted it to on this time around.
We've
Okay.
been doing it so many times. Inferno Mines. I could bring this fucker into that.
I don't know. I think death by positive energy is also pretty horrible.
Oh yeah.
Well, it shines and glimmers, and it just overloads the soul, and then like shower of sparks that are fiery. But okay, I'm going to 1, 2. Oh,
Solomon's going to come in here too.
So 1, 2, 3, 4. Pick a number between 1 and 4.
I happen to have a D4. 2.
Oh,
How
this is
horrible
really
is
bad for him. So 1 was pandemonium.
Oh god.
Alright.
2. So I'll get to what 2 is. 3 was the abyss.
Hmm.
4 was negative plane.
Oh, I was wanting 4.
Who?
Where is
No.
2?
Carcery.
I would actually like to make another offer.
Uh-huh.
I will give
A
you a
counter offer.
point of inspiration if it leads to the Rock's lair.
Do we want to? Well, it's the rock absorbs
totally optional to you.
the rock absorbs everything, and nothing ever comes out of him technically. So technically, Carcery counts as a rock. But so here's the thing, Carcery. Nothing leaves. Ever. Nothing leaves that plane. It is like Tartarus.
Yeah.
the Rock is a multiple eldritch being
Yeah.
consumer
I don't.
horror.
Let's leave that to the side.
Amalgamation.
Let's leave that to the side for right now. But
Alright,
Carcer,
alright.
so he sees, it's so a blood red light shines through, and he sees what looks like almost like a very thin, spindly webs of rock. Although the way that they form looks like just like strings of sinew across, from which demons are hopping and flying, and some of them are falling forever. And then she's like, "That's better. Talk."
Humanol is rather uncomfortable. He's like, "Hey, Mebs, you guys weren't supposed to think it was me. You were supposed to blame the kobold or the goblin or something."
Yeah, well, I may not be smart, but everybody else is.
We literally have.
He's like, no, you're really smart. You just.
Do you think he's lying?
Corn just is like, no, Corn's after giving him a headache. Corn is just like, you say, you know, maybe this play was just awful. Because, you know, you committed a murder, an assassination, in the middle of a room where full of people that can do this, and Corn just starts lifting a bunch of stuff around up into the room.
It's like, well, I was gonna wait, but it got dark and I saw my opportunity. Just please don't make me go in the hole.
Also, here we go. This is basically a
Alright,
preview
so
of what's sitting
Corn
through
says,
there.
Solomon at this point says, okay, well, so we will not put you in the hole depending on how useful you are to us. If you are uncooperative, go in the hole. If we feel that you are not being as helpful as you could be,
Oh.
you're going to be going somewhere else. And the imp appears on Solomon's shoulder.
He yipes and kind of jumps a little, but you know, there's a giant snake person coiled around him.
Yep.
Who squeezes a little tighter. So, restricted movement.
Very restricted. You might almost say
And-
negative movement.
Calypso will whisper.
If
It's like,
we feel that you have been completely forward with us, maybe we'll make it quick. Unless Solomon looks over his shoulder, unless you, Thomas, have anything you would rather prefer happen, as it was your second.
I'm sorry, were you talking to me or other players?
Solomon was talking to Thomas, is like,
Oh, okay.
after giving this little speech, he's like, unless you, Thomas, have anything you would like to say about this?
Thomas is, no, he deserves whatever punishment you guys deserve fit.
Wonderful. So, Hemod, the question is, this isn't a question about how you will die. No, because you are going to die today. The question is, how do you want to spend your afterlife?
Decently, I would hope.
then be truthful.
I
And hope that you haven't lived a horrible life. That would counteract this.
I certainly plan to let and squeeze a little bit. Cooperate as much as I can.
So, how long have you been here?
I've been here for a couple of months.
So, how much information have you how much information has gone back to the government about the movements of this organization?
I wasn't involved in that part of this. Not even.
Any names you care to give out?
I'm not even aligned with the government. I just really didn't like the guy, and I don't really care about this resistance or the government either way.
I knew it. I was fucking correct. I love being correct.
Calypso like furrows her brow. It's like looks at Corn. It's like, do we actually have to kill him?
We can show kindness.
I thought he was working for the government. It's like,
does Corn believe him?
Inside checks.
I don't think he's in a position where he can lie.
Yeah, he would have gone and did sorcery points on that.
Oh.
Okay.
How many?
I forget that I forgot that I had it on advantage, so I just went and rolled it. So I'm just like, he would have used the sorcery points.
How many critical successes?
There have been a lot, and I've only been rolling shittily.
He's
It's hilarious.
telling the truth as best as he can.
As best as he can.
Okay, that was bad. He's being pressured into talking. He's being
bullied into telling the
bullied
truth.
into talking. In these sorts of situations, it's not unheard of for the captor just to say whatever for the captee just to say whatever the captor wants to hear. It's not unheard of.
It's not a great.
But does he genuinely have no connection or interest about the government?
He honestly couldn't give a fuck if the government stayed in power or didn't.
Okay, so he's not affiliated with the government. He just really fucking hated this dude for some reason.
For some reason, he wanted him dead. Fine, cool enough.
You haven't been told the main reason of hating the dude.
Corn says, "Why did you hate this person so much?"
He brought me into this stupid mess and he blackmailed me to do it.
Suddenly, things change.
Corn looks at Calypso, looks at Solomon. Solomon just shrugs.
Fair enough.
It's.
I'll in my mind talking to you. In my mind, I'll talk to you, and Alaptican will ask, "What was he being blackmailed of?"
What do you
About what?
have on you?
I don't want to tell you guys.
That has
Solomon says, "Well."
It's like,
I have
is
to
it
ask you,
anything
like,
that is
Well,
really
seeing as-
important?
Solomon says, "Well, see, this is part of the. Remember what I told you earlier? This is also a part of that cooperation
Yeah.
that I was talking about."
Yeah. I've been living out in these wastes for quite a while. I maybe eat the people who die. Maybe.
Common thing in this part?
It's like it's Red. It's I'm imagining Red is present. It's like he
Oh,
looks over. He looks over like, what's wrong with that?
Red is like, "Oh, first time."
He's also a human, so.
Well, is he admitting to eating other humanoids, or is he admitting to just eating
It's cannibalizing the dead.
Yeah, he's
So-
admitting to cannibalism.
cannibalism, but of dead people, or just in general?
You know,
Cannibalizing
recently
the dead.
almost dead.
Dead.
It's like it's Calypso looks over to Corin and is like, now I'm genuinely curious. Do we want to actually kill him? As in,
From- oh,
as in the the difference of
hey, he's not actually that
of
bad.
it's like the initial one is like, do we have to kill him? As in, I don't think that we really should. And the to the should we? Do we? Do we?
Solomon is now speaking into mine's like, well, I did promise my patron souls.
Oh fuck.
He gets a little
And I-
uncomfortable.
No, this is telepathically.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's like it's well, it's process like.
And I haven't been able to provide for some time.
I think Laptican will say in towards Smith, saying, "I believe this one might be more useful for that regard. The other one seems to be much more neutral and only wanted to take care of the person who's blackmailing him and is not affiliated against us technically."
Yeah.
Yes, but he still took act. Regardless of situation, he still assisted in dealing a blow to this group that is aligned with our interests.
Clips is gonna take.
Regardless of the reason for it.
Clips is gonna grab the edge of the portable hole, like just wiggle to do a flop. It's like she's gonna keep on cycling until she gets to the night house.
Oh my god.
Yeah, you eventually cycle far enough to get
Really?
what you're looking for.
It's like with the TV remote. No.
No.
It's like, oh, this. And it's like,
no,
oh,
this is a shitty
it's-
commercial.
it's like oh, maybe this is it. It's like Solomon looks at no, wrong circle. It's like.
It's one is just a record button. He's like, that's weird.
Wait, okay, so data point backing up. So since it's like at this point, has Solomon learned that if the what Nate of his patron is demonic or fiend is demonic or devilish?
I don't think we ever decided.
Demonic fiend favorite shit.
Let's say it was
Corporatism.
I remember chaos being an element, so it's probably the abyss.
Okay.
Probably a demon.
yeah, it was probably a demon. It was
Okay,
chaos
and
was
so-
what they wanted.
Calypso opens to the nine hells, and Solomon looks over and looks to her and says out loud, "It's like no, the other one."
Okay. Flip.
Okay, you get to it.
Okay. That looks like. Oh god, that's fucking gross.
Ew.
He was looking. Himoto was kind of like looking over as you're flipping through, and there were a couple of spots where he looked a little hopeful, and then he kept
Look,
looking
a nice
past.
little forest.
Oh,
Oh, a nice
hey.
forest. A mountain. Oh, look. All
hey.
these nice places. Oh, God.
Hey, it's Arborea. Hey, it's Elysium. Hey, it's Archeron. Hey, it's McKenna's. Hey, the negative energy plane.
It's like
Shit.
so many good places I could send you that wouldn't outright kill you, but no dice.
Wouldn't be nice.
Oh my fucking god, Tori! I just realized.
Solomon looks over. It's just like, so there's actually someone here that also that is in line with that knows quite a bit about your little secret.
You just kind of. Huh? What?
Who are you talking to?
Solomon is talking to Humad. He's like, yes. Solomon points down the hole. It's like, there's someone in there that knows, that has extensive experience about
Say
your little
down
secret.
there, and he just starts sweating.
Wait. Not something. My apologies.
You know, I could just wander back off into the wastes. Be fine. Probably me, right? Please. I'll even go to the
Solomon-
radiated area.
Solomon looks around, says telepathically, is like, do any of you have any qualms about me potentially using these two people to satiate my patron?
It's like it's Calypso looks over, like shrugs her shoulders, like I don't. Its patrons are pretty powerful, and going off mine, probably wouldn't want to be on their bad side.
Like, also, so this is using the telepathy. So Snogo, Red, Serena, she are also in this conversation.
So Snuggo is like, Snuggo is. He abhors it, but he's not speaking against it because he knows that Solomon has ends he has to make meet. Or-
Yeah, Lapkin,
or else the
he
patron might
he doesn't
make-
say anything
make
because he was
it.
already kind of offering up Dave, who seems to be the much more baddie of the two of them,
Yeah.
but he can't really convince you otherwise. So he doesn't like it, but he
Calypso, I'd like to
doesn't
remind
have
you that the Summer Queen also wanted some people to hang out with, particularly those aligned with the government.
Fuck.
Oh wait, so the Summer Queen wants government aligned people?
So Calypso's like, wait. So, can I have the government guy? Because I also need to pay things.
Corin just looks over at Calypso and raises an eyebrow.
You're kidding me.
Says, Solomon's just like,
She was very
Deal.
persuasive.
Solomon's just like, deal.
Okay. Shakes hands.
This man is so fucked and he's not. Oh my god. I'm trying.
Yeah,
I
he's
can't.
just. This poor guy's just gone pale. He's like, okay, this is it. This is it for me now.
And so,
This is
He's,
also
so
not
making,
how
like,
you
a
do
small
This is not
prayer.
how you do interrogations, by the way. Oh my
all
god.
Lynn has to do is just lift him over the hole and let go.
Lynn kind of like positions him towards
Oh my
towards
god.
her. He's like, it's really a shame. I could just eat you.
For what it's worth.
Solomon just pushes him in.
Oh
Alright.
my
Lynn was like loosening up her coils as Solomon pushes, so he just falls through. She's like, I wanted to have last words from him. But
It's like it's like
gone now.
he did. No, he does. You can still hear it. It's like puts ear down, like owl hearing can still hear
Oh,
him
and
screaming as he's falling.
Oh, and as the guy's falling, Solomon's gonna mark him with Eldritch Blast. Just so this is like, hey,
Marked for
This is
for
him.
your eyes only. For Sugar Daddy's eyes only.
Oh my god.
One
Alright,
second.
So while
How
it's all
long
going on,
does-
I want to be talking because we've been focusing on you
Yeah.
guys. I'm gonna be talking to Dave. Dave, my good friend.
Dave has some
Dave,
stuff.
just great things. Did you hate the guy too?
No, I've told to kill him. Yeah,
Makes
it's
sense.
just orders.
Makes sense. Orders are orders.
Yeah.
So how'd you do it?
Oh,
I mean, it's so cool how you did it. I mean,
Yeah.
that thing just went out.
yeah, I'm pretty proud of it. I had.
Did you make it?
Oh, I didn't make it. I'm not that good.
Aw.
I had that little box that the owl lady took from me, and it's not Pandora. I wanted a similar name, but not Pandora.
Oh, good idea. I'll-
Pandorica?
Pandorica's box. It, releases a bunch of darkness and into rooms that it's opened in. And I had my glasses so I could see, and then I left it at the table, and then I went and injected him, and I used some Yanti poison and some snake and lizard poison, and I used some plant poison because I didn't really want to be nailed down as me. And I was hoping you would suspect the gardeners or the one lady, but you didn't. And then you did good for you, but like really inconvenient, you know?
No, I totally get it. I totally get it.
And then I injected him, and I went out the side door and came back around, and I closed the box and made it light again, and yeah, it was really going well until you guys got me.
Oh, I know. And I'll just have him constantly looking.
So
towards
sorry
me.
about that, Calypso.
So-
It's like
like Laptican will make a couple of jokes at our expense. Like, oh yeah, it makes sense. No, it makes sense.
You meddling
like, well-
kids, you.
Oh yeah, totally. So and then I'll keep asking questions to get under the time limit.
Yeah.
To ask him because he doesn't know any magic, right? We know that.
No,
I'm not
yeah,
asking- I'm
he's
not-
actually non-magical. It was
Yeah, okay.
it was
So
humanoid.
I'll just keep asking him questions like, oh, like what were the orders?
Oh well, I was supposed to find out what plans were down here, and I told him that they that there were some new recruits and that they fought a dragon, and I told him, and that's when they told me that I was supposed to kill the first in command, and I guess I mixed them up because I didn't really care, and I got the second in command. Not that bad. I thought they were gonna be at different seats at the table. It was hard to see through that stupid tabletop group, and then it was dark, and then
Makes sense.
I told him that you guys are gonna storm the place, and that's when they told me to kill the guy, like I said, and
Oh, you already got we already got to talk to them. Oh, nice.
Yeah. It was great talk.
so it's amongst all this. It's Snuggle walks out the door and and wait. So who's interrogating him?
Me, Laptican.
Yeah, this
Okay.
is happening while we're
This is
while
all happening while they're all doing the other shit.
Yeah,
but
yes.
I have something planned for the end of this, so it'll be
It's
really fun.
and it's because he's going to be tugging on a rope. A rope is like, hey, I'm gonna need your help with something.
His lip will twitch. And he'll talk in the mind. Really, right now?
No, it's as soon as you're done with this.
Okay,
Because
sure.
if they know that we're coming,
New plans.
we need a weapon. I can make it.
I think I have an idea. Okay, and then I'll continue as if nothing had happened. As if like a child like tugging on your shoulder, you just ignore them.
Yeah.
I'll just continually
That's nice,
talk to
honey.
Dave. Yeah. And then as like I'll keep making like jokes at our expense, like, oh, see, like they can't even like, and I'll make a joke at like all of our expense, including myself at him, to help him egg him along, trying to get him to tell us exactly
What forces
he
do
told
they
us.
have ready?
But like what did you tell them? Like, did you tell them the good stuff?
Oh yeah, I told him all the good shit. Like, you guys are strong enough to kill the guy, the dragon guy, and that you guys have some radiation, and you guys member stuff, and you guys are evil. I told him you might be like participants, but I wasn't sure, and I told him. You know, just the basics.
No, yeah, I understand. In my mind, I'll be telling who is it that wants
Snuggle.
Snuggle.
Oh, Calypso.
Calypso needs him.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'll tell her to get ready. I'm gonna tell her to when I get the glasses, I'm going to turn on the machine and turn open the box to turn on the light. And I want her to put the thing on the ground so that it goes to where she needs him to go.
Like she'll prep it. It's like yes, I want to be the one to send him off.
Okay. Well, hold on, but before not yet. And I don't tell you in your mind not to do it. So
She's
after like
setting it up
close
behind
to
him.
like the at like 9-minute mark, after we've waited a lot doing all this, we've gotten literally all the information I need out of him.
Mm-hmm.
So we've confirmed that he's told the other government, the government that's currently in charge, all of the information about us, all of like our
I mean,
capacity.
thankfully, this guy didn't have like attack plans. He didn't have the playbook. He just had the general.
He just has information, the general knowledge of our group. It knows that there's a large group of strong individuals with certain things about them.
Yeah.
But all he knows is that they're prepping. We're prepping to attack them.
For
That's all
an
they know.
attack.
Mhm.
That's
Yeah,
all
so
they
they'll be fortified. We need
Yeah.
a siege breaker.
Yeah, we need a siege breaker. Okay, after all that's done, I'll start like butting up to him, getting him to like show us how the things work, and then asking to like see it demonstrated. And I'll have him like show me the glasses. I'll put on the glasses.
Mhm.
Okay,
I'll then turn
Calypso
on.
has them. She'll hand it to you.
Yeah, I'll turn them
Calypso
on.
hands you the glasses in the,
Oh
in the
yeah.
jewelry box.
Let's see how cool this works. And then I'll open the box, turn on all the lights. I'll see everything. I'll tell her now.
Excuse me.
And Calypso will just oh wait, she doesn't actually have this. She's gonna go and I will burn as many luck points as I need to be able to hit him. Yeah. Okay, no, 1 second. Spending 1 luck point. Yeah. Okay, well.
Try again.
Yeah.
Oh. You got another?
Yeah. It's like she goes, it's so she goes swings with one hand. It's like, you know, I was never good with that.
Alright, there you go. Yeah,
Just-
that does
it's-
it.
And send him off with booming blade. Just pow. It's like
Paw.
here, pop of thunder, and he's like,
Wah, wah,
like-
wah, 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 wah.
she'll
And then I'll close the
Sure.
box, and Elapticon will. I'm sorry.
she'll lean down, look up, and it's the fall probably wasn't very long to the ground,
Yeah.
and so it's like it's close. It's like I really hope you enjoyed being charmed and all, because you're going to be nothing but that while you're here. Welcome to the Feywild, and pull the hole.
Alright, beautiful, beautiful.
I'm probably keeping these items. I'm not saying it out loud though.
She still has a hex on him, by the way, for
Okay.
charisma for an hour.
Alright. Sounds good.
Have fun in the Feywild when your talking skills are fucking impaired.
Whilst you're already impaired. Like, okay, out of character, I had absolutely zero problem with Dave having this happen to him. Ironically, like, he's a neutral, he's like a pure mortal, but like, he's just, God, he got himself into a bad spot because he's such an idiot. But the other guy was just like, no, he was blackmailing me. He was a fuck that was doing this to me.
He was
And I'm
also
like-
a cannibal.
Yeah, he
He
was
was
a cannibal, but
cannibal.
you know, potato.
I mean, but if we're going by Fallout logic, that's like a lot of people. So we're going by Fallout logic. That's a good amount of people.
He divulged that will cannibalize the from people that are recently killed, some people that were almost dead, and that's when he was damned. But
One of you says, as you literally ate your own mother.
Yeah.
I don't believe you. I don't believe you.
Well,
It's-
Lynn wasn't really too concerned about the cannibalism, especially since cannibalism is perfectly normal and approved of method of control in the Yanti abominations. Cannibalism
Not wrong.
is accepted.
So here was a case of cultural relativity.
Yep.
and well,
It is wrong for a human to eat humanoids, but it's not fun. It is not wrong for lizard folk to eat humanoids, nor is it wrong for UNT to eat humanoids, because
It's the
that's
same
just
with-
that is just their culture.
Lynn eating the snakes when she was a lizard. With that conversation with Zareed.
Yeah, it's imagine just Calypso goes to swing with one hand, and he's like, and imagine Lapticon just sees her swinging in the absolute wrong direction.
Yes.
She's not
And
even
then-
using her hand. She's like just trying to like get him with her wing, like wing him into the hole. But she's
It's-
just like leaning her wing on him and like, go.
It's like ah, fuck it. It's offhand
bad.
short
So
sworded
bad.
him.
Yeah, it was so bad. What have you know how bad that was.
That's
Did
a laugh.
you guys enjoy? Did I do a decent job
I
on
really,
It was
I really
funny.
liked it.
Okay.
I love the fact that I was like, what if this is two different groups? And I was right. And I'm like, I love being right. It's so
Yeah.
amazing.
When I was like making all the characters, I knew, okay, like this human's gonna be one of the killers, and Dave. I just really like the idea of a Dave being a killer, so Dave is gonna be a killer. I don't know how we're
Dave
gonna
isn't a
get to...
killer name.
I don't know how we're gonna get to Dave being the killer. I'll figure that out as I go, because who knows? Maybe if we had played this a little bit different, the dwarf would have been the killer. I wasn't entirely sure exactly who did what until we were moving through it.
It's
Yeah.
you base it off of
Interesting.
off of how we were going. And honestly, I think that's better than fully planning out and it's like, this is the person that got it, and if they don't get these clues, then they can never find it out, is a recipe for disaster.
Yeah.
So that was a good call.
If you had gotten like the human first, Dave would have taken his the
Leave.
distraction and be like, okay, I did what I wanted to do. Peace.
And oh my god! And you know what's the funniest thing is that he would have tried to do that, and and Solomon would have been blocking the door. He's like, see ya, and Solomon just whips out a gun, shoots him point blank,
No.
with absolutely no hesitance. It's like, I'm paying attention this time.
But you got the one closer to the door first, so.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you liked it, and I hope this was a nice transition back into playing these characters and into...
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
And now that they know that we're coming, now's the time for the Mizium tank.
Okay, I will be doing the thing I wanted to do with Laptican next session.
Yeah.
Next session is the last major prep session before we move on to the siege.
Yep. Q Riddle. Q Hellmarch 3.
Carl looks over at the party and says, I'm at that point where, I have crazy magic now.
What
Do we want me? I mean, I could just wish they forgot that we were coming. I mean,
You guys do also have another ring. Another ring use.
that spell is a very dangerous one.
I mean, it.
Oh, how many?
I don't know. It's like,
how many days do we have left until we are following through with it? It's like it's another thing. It's like, regardless, I can't be the one that does it.
I mean, thing is that I remember reading a little bit about what Wish could do and how, a little bit of how it worked. But I don't know. It's like it just. It's like it doesn't seem all that complicated as they make it out to be.
Well, the thing is that the wish spell absolutely drains you.
Well, yeah, I mean yeah, I understand that part, but it's like also some of the limitations that I read about, don't really seem there. So Corn walks up to Snuggle, puts his hand in his soldiers, and Corn says, I wish you had foresight.
And then
And it happens.
Lapkin nods and he
Yes.
understands.
Corin is actually just casting Foresight on Snowgo.
So
Via wish.
Snowgo is just going to stop. It's like I'm going to need that for the rest of the time for our prep to the siege, and also.
Why do I smell almonds?
Why do I smell
And
burnt
also-
toast?
Also, I'm going to. I might need your help with the plan that I have in mind. If they know that we are coming, or regardless of we know they're coming, we want to have every advantage that we get, and we need a siege breaker. And I have been working on a very small scale of it, but we need a big scale, and we need it quickly, and we need a source of power.
Well,
Lynn's like, well, what kind of power source do you need?
Magical.
Lapkin will be like,
you want me to be a battery?
Yes. And we need raw source of power to. Might be able to use other casters, but we will need a raw source of power. For the apparatuses to at least function. Other casters could maybe work in tandem.
Lynn kind of shifts and she's like, I kind of got that sort of raw magic. I didn't learn to make.
Okay, Solomon.
And I didn't. I didn't make any deals to have it. I was born with this. It's from my lineage. Does that?
You're a sorcerer, right?
Yeah.
That should work. And so.
Solomon was like, so there's actually a spell, by the name of Simulacrum, which makes a copy of a person first, but it's not like a clone. It's a facsimile. It's a double, but the double also has all the magical. If you use Simulacrum on a magic user, they also have all of the magical ability of the caster at the time of it being cast.
That could definitely work. Also, so essentially what I'm thinking, we need to build we need siege breakers, and those little crab tanks, the apparatus of Kalawash, we can mount this type of arcane turret on it, but there's one problem, aside from the power. I don't know of any metals that are like arcana conductors.
That I believe I can provide tomorrow. Once we've finished up here, I believe I can show you exactly what you need to make it.
Sounds like we have a plan, and a very powerful tank. Maybe two. We have work to do.
And with that, we will say that is the end of the session of the trials.
Yep.
Nice.
Thank you guys for watching. Nobody watched the whole time, but cool.